Sean Colton.
Well, a pleasant good evening, everyone, from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. It has not been a good series for the Lancaster Barnstormers so far, and they will look to Brad Bergeson to salvage something out of this trip to Connecticut. The Barnstormers have been outscored 24-6 in the first two games of this series. The last 5 games they have played here, they have been outscored by a total of 42-9, and that, of course, has been overall an unpleasant experience. This is the final time we will play a regular season game at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, not just this year, but apparently ever. So we're going to take a little bit of time and reminisce about trips to Bridgeport. We actually came here. This was our second stop on the all-time first road trip for the Lancaster Barnstormers. We went from Somerset to Bridgeport and then back down to Camden for the first 11 games in the history of the Barnstormers franchise. And if you remember correctly, the Barnstormers went 6-5 on that trip. And we have had highlights here in Bridgeport, and I'd like to go back through a few of those. But we will have that after our first commercial break. And again, tonight it is Brad Bergeson with a record of 8-6, and former Milwaukee Brewers starter Manny Parra with a record of 1-0, matching up as the Barnstormers take on the Bridgeport Bluefish. We'll be back with the look back at our times in Bridgeport in just a moment on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Playing third base.
Homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself. There isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
But Gockenauers is still here supporting your 2017 Lancaster Barnstormers. Hi, I'm Adam Gockenauer, and I want you to know Gockenauers is committed to serving you and our local community in everything we do. We've been in business for 68 years and are 4 generations strong. Stop in today to see how appliance and grill shopping can be a pleasant experience and save you money at the same time. I'll be back after the Dugout Report to tell you about our special events this season.
Welcome back from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. The Barnstormers paying their final regular season visit here to Bridgeport. In the history of the franchise, this ballpark is going to be taken and reworked following this season into a concert venue. They have already an indoor concert venue next door in the Webster Bank Arena, which of course is also the home to Fairfield basketball and the Bridgeport Sound Tigers of the American Hockey League. This has been a very good sports area here in downtown Bridgeport for the last 20 years. But this Bridgeport franchise, which was the jewel of the Atlantic League when it started, and this is how things can turn. I have said this before. When I was in the Eastern League at Bowie, we used to drive right past here on Interstate 95. I can see the road from the broadcast booth. We used to drive past here, look down into Harbor Yard when we were on our way to Yale Field in New Haven, and wish that we were playing in this ballpark, which it was a gem when it first opened here on the Bridgeport Harbor. And time has taken its toll on this franchise. Why did folks lose interest in coming here? I don't know. You could speculate 100 different ways, but they obviously have not drawn well for several years. There have been a couple changes in ownership. Frank Bolton, the owner of the Long Island Ducks, the most recent owner into here, and tried to salvage it, tried to turn it around. They've had some very, very good general managers in here. Ken Shepard, the league still misses Ken, one of the great promoters in this game. Turn it around for a while. Bob Gaughan, who had been a very successful minor league general manager, had preceded him, and things had gone reasonably well under Bob's reign, a little bit turning the corner. Ken turned it around even more. Jamie Toole, who was Ken's assistant, had the reins of this franchise last year and did some great things here. And this season, the venerable Paul Herman has been the general manager here. He had been the baseball operations and PR director for the Bluefish for several seasons, and he's done a nice job here in Bridgeport, but they just couldn't turn the corner enough. And the government here in Bridgeport decided to make the change. There was a 1-year lease for this season to get the Bluefish through year 20, but apparently this is it. So some of the fond memories in here, well, how about the 2006 Championship Series, the Barnstormers winning Game 1 and going to Game 2, building an 8-1 lead over the first couple of innings, and we weren't on the air at that time. We were preempted by Penn State football back then, and we come on the air. It's 8-1. It looks like Lancaster's coming home with a 2-0 lead. Then Bridgeport started coming back. They tied the game at 8-8. Two of the best defensive plays in the history of the Barnstormers were turned in that night. Jason Bowers on a bunt, getting it out at first base and throwing out the batter runner from the other side of the pitcher's mound. It was a Derek Jeter-like play turned in by Jason Bowers, and then later on, Eric Crozier kept the ball from hopping out of play, which would have made it a ground rule double. He held it to a single. That also kept Bridgeport from scoring the winning run. The Barnstormers would go on to win 9-8 as a fly ball was dropped out in left field in the top half of the 12th inning. And, of course, the Barnstormers did come home and the following night won their first ever championship on that great effort by Denny Harriger. Also in that game, Charlie Weatherby's gutty performance out of the bullpen. He threw the final 4 2/3 innings for the Barnstormers in that game. So quite a memorable night here in Bridgeport. Watching Luis Rodriguez, who now brings the lineup card out to exchange that with Ross Peoples, watching him play with a broken collarbone. I can also think of some of the other great personalities they have had come through Bridgeport in the more recent days. How about Adam Greenberg, who was the delightful guy. His one plate appearance at the major leagues, he was beamed and it never got back until the Marlins brought him back after his time in Bridgeport. But Adam Greenberg, one of the people that met here over the years in Bridgeport. This is where I first met Bryant Nelson, was when he played for the Bluefish back in '06. And, of course, Nelly is an institution here in the Atlantic League and with Barnstormers fans. Also, Luis Lopez, double L19, one of the great people and the only guy who has ever hit my car with a foul ball. But, yeah, we've dealt with that. But Luis Lopez, another one of the great engaging people that has been with this Bridgeport franchise over the years. The Barnstormers had a game here, one of the great finishes in Barnstormers history because of the oddity of it. Came in the midst of the playoff drive in 2014. Jason Urquidez was having an off night. Ramon Castro tagged from third and scored the apparent tying run in the game. Butch Hobson asked for the appeal at third. The Barnstormers were awarded it. Not only did it take the tying run off the board, it gave the Barnstormers the final out of the game to preserve a 7-6 victory. So a lot of memories at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, but there will be no more after tonight, unless, as I said, the Barnstormers do meet up with Bridgeport, possibly in the first round of the playoffs, possibly in the championship series, depending on how things fall. So it's hard to believe that after 13 years of coming here, 13 years of watching the ferry come and go, of watching trains zip past the walls and right and center, watching the traffic on Interstate 95, foul ground down the third base line, that this is the last regular season game anyway for the Barnstormers and for years truly here at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. That, it's, as they say, is a wrap. There will be another series against the Bluefish that will come up at Clipper Magazine Stadium next week. Well, the lineup cards have been exchanged. We'll have those lineups for you in just a moment right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Another great dugout report. Adam Gochenauer from Gochenauer Appliances back with you again to remind you to please stop by our showroom in East Petersburg to see all the best appliance brands on the market today. Brands like GE, Maytag, Whirlpool, Speed Queen, and Fisher & Paykel. We not only can save you money on your purchase, but provide you with our own service, delivery, and installation. Join our family and let us show you how fun appliance shopping can be. Gochenauer's in East Petersburg.
Hey Barnstormers fan, be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
Bridgeport hits the field. Here are the starting lineups for tonight's 9-inning game. Bo Amaral will lead off for the Barnstormers. He is in center. Trayvon Robinson in right field batting second. The DH hitting third is Josh Bell. Sean Halton is the cleanup hitter and third baseman. Steve Clevenger will bat fifth. He will play first. Lastings Millage is in left field batting sixth. It'll be Garrett Weber batting seventh at second base. Nate Coronado, the shortstop, is hitting eighth. Tyler Clark catching batting ninth with Brad Bergeson on the hill. And here is our national anthem. Got through the Barnstormers lineup very quickly for Bridgeport. It will be Osni Guillen leading off. He will be in right field. Wellington Dotel will bat second and play center. The second baseman hitting third is Tony Abreu. Sean Burrows is the cleanup batter in the DH. Jonathan Galvez moves in to play first base. He will bat fifth. Andrew Lambo will get a start in left field. He will be number 6 in the lineup. The catcher is Gustavo Molina batting seventh. Anelis Nina will bat eighth, play third base, and Anel Rosa is the shortstop batting ninth. Left-hander Manny Parra gets the start. He is a 6'3", 34-year-old from California, a longtime Milwaukee Brewer, a little bit of time with Cincinnati, and as a member of the Bluefish, 1-0 with a 3.18 earned run average. We'll have play-by-play baseball coming your way next here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel. You're never too young to appreciate a great deal. The Barnyard Bunch is back and better than ever. Members get field box tickets for 6 home games presented by Penn State Hershey, plus 6 free passes to B.R. Kreider Kids Park, 2 free Isaac's Kids Meals, 2 tickets to the Chocolate World 4D Experience, 2 passes to Hands-On House, an exclusive Barnyard Bunch t-shirt, and plenty more in a summer of fun at Clipper Magazine Stadium, all for just $25. Sign up at the stadium or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com/barnyardbunch, and we'll see you at the ballpark. You're never too young to appreciate a great deal. The Barnyard Bunch is back and better than ever. Members get field box tickets for 6 home games presented by Penn State Hershey, plus 6 free passes to B.R. Kreider Kids Park, 2 free Isaac's Kids Meals, 2 tickets to the Chocolate World 4D Experience, 2 passes to Hands-On House, an exclusive Barnyard Bunch t-shirt, and plenty more in a summer of fun at Clipper Magazine Stadium, all for just $25. Sign up at the stadium or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com/barnyardbunch, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
Leading off the Barnstormers, the center fielder.
Well, here is Bo Amaral leading off for the Barnstormers here this evening, just trying to salvage something out of this series and come back home with at least a 1-game lead, taking on the Somerset Patriots for the next 4. Amaral lost an 8-game hitting streak this afternoon. He was 0 for 3. A ground out, a line out, and a strikeout. He just couldn't get that ball to sit in an RBI situation his second time up. Now a swing and a foul against Para. The ball out of play down the left field line. No balls and 1 strike. Anelis Nunez at third. The shortstop is Angel Rosa. It is Tony Abreu at second. Jonathan Galvez over at first. Andrew Lambo is in left. Center fielder Wellington Dotel and Osni Guillen in right. Gustavo Molina doing the catching here this evening. Line drive, diving try. Rosa can't come up with a base hit center field. And Amaral is right back on the beam. A leadoff base hit here in the first inning. The Barnstormers trying to get something underway quickly here against Manny Para. His first time out, he went 5 2/3 innings, did Para, with 5 hits and 2 runs allowed. He walked 2, and he did strike out 7 in picking up the victory. Trayvon Robinson, the right fielder, now stepping in, batting .271. He has 5 home runs on the year. He has knocked in 28. Para looking toward first, and he'll come to the plate. To Robinson, breaking ball misses. Ball 1, no strikes. Frank Urilli calling balls and strikes here in the nightcap. Reggie Katz at first base, and Joe Cruz has the work over on the third base side. Amaral 2 for 3, stealing bases, out to a lead. Being held by Galvez. Para will come to the plate. His 1-0 to Robinson is again low. 2-0 on Trayvon. It was 1 for 2 with a walk in game 1. Drove in the only Barnstormers run with a base hit into right center field in the 3rd inning of that game. Lancaster came close to scoring in the 7th, but nothing ever came to fruition. 2 balls and no strikes. Sidearm throw over to first, and Amaral is back in and in standing. Brian Hoover came up with his first Atlantic League base hit. That was maybe the highlight of game 1. 2 balls and no strikes to Trayvon Robinson. Infield double play depth. Para to the set. He's coming to the plate, and there's the first strike to Robinson. It is 2-1. The other thing to follow up on from game 1 is R.J. Hively. As you know, he got a 1-hopper that actually hit him behind the ear as he flinched and tried to get out of the way at the last second. The ball took a very bad hop on him on the way back to the hill. Swing and a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and hit well enough by Wellington Dotel. It really smarted, and Jared Binner did the very cautious thing and the wise thing, and he got RJ to the emergency room. Hively is okay. But there was some swelling behind the ear for a little while, and then it went back down. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Robinson. He swings and misses. Ball dove out of the zone on him.
That was tonight's first Bluefish strikeout of the game.
Robinson strikes out. Josh Bell, a designated hitter, will come to the plate. 281 with 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Now we know the nature of the beast of Manny Para, who has significant experience at the major league level. He, with that changeup, it bent down and away from Robinson. And the Barnstormers' right-handed batters are really going to have to be alert to that pitch if they get 2 strikes in a count. Throw to first, and Amaral is back in. Para won 11 games for the Brewers in 09, 10 in 08. Has an overall 29-41 record at the major league level in 322 games, 74 of which were starts. He was in the rotation for Milwaukee 08 to 10. To Josh Bell, swing and a miss. He's going to be tough on the right-handed batters as Para. Left-hander last appeared in the major leagues in 2015 as a Cincinnati Red. He got into 150 games with the Reds over 3 years. Is a setup guy. Carmichael, California is home for Manny Para. No balls, 1 strike to Josh Bell. Amaral takes off. There's a swing and a miss. Molina with the throw and a very good tag applied by Abreu. Amaral is thrown out, stealing 2 to 4. Josh Bell bats, no balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. The leadoff base hit is no longer in play as Amaral is thrown out stealing. He is 2 for 4. Manny Parra goes to work on Josh Bell. Here's the 0-2. Outside and low, gobbled up by Molina. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Earlier this year, Parra was trying to make a comeback. He was at AAA Iowa in the Cubs organization after missing all of last year, and the numbers were not good. To Bell, inside, Josh jumping out of the way. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Third baseman Sean Halton waits on deck. Barnstormers' right-handed hitters are probably going to end up having to take Parra the other way by the looks of it. Here's a 2-2. That bounces all the way to the backstop, and we go to a full count on Bell now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Molina didn't even make a great throw. Abreu had to play a bounce. But it was a perfect pitch to handle, and Abreu made a very good tag. Now 3-2 on Bell. Hard hit ground ball pulled foul. Past Ross Peoples in the coach's box. And we will continue with a count of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bell trying to extend the inning here. This, remember, a 9-inning game. Brad Bergeson will go the first 5 or 6 tonight, depending on the pitch count. Ball 4 is high. The Barnstormers get another base runner. Bell picks up the base on balls, and now Sean Halton to the plate. Halton at 262 with 22 home runs and 72 knocked in. He's tied for the league lead in home runs with Mike Snyder of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. New Britain's off to a 6-0 lead over Sugar Land. They're in the top of the 3rd inning. How about that? Here's a pitch to Halton. Sean with a swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. Halton looking for his first hit of this series after batting safely in 13 in a row. 2 outs. Bell the runner at first. He's stolen 3. Stolen bases are still ahead of the home runs. Swing and a miss. That pitch gets clean through Molina. And on to second goes Bell. I'm going to mark that down as a pass ball. At Halton trails 0-2 here. So Jake Hale is the guy on the wrong end of that 6-0 score. Looks like 3-run homers by Griffin and Krause in consecutive innings. No balls, 2 strikes to Halton. Bell leads off second. Parra comes set. Here's the pitch. Halton swings and misses again. He's gone on 3 pitches. 2 strikeouts for Parra here in the opening inning. The Barnstormers are unable to build anything. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Bottom half of the 1st inning coming around. It is the Barnstormers 0 and the Bridgeport Bluefish coming up.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Brad Bergeson on the hill for the Barnstormers tonight. He has been the steadiest of the starting pitchers for Lancaster this year, with a record of 8 wins and 6 losses, a 4.09 ERA, 99 innings of work. He's allowed 45 hits. He has walked only 20 and just 1 in his last 4 starts. He has struck out 65. He's facing Osni Guillen, leading off the bottom of the first inning. The left-handed batting right fielder checking in at 264 with 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He squares around a bunt, takes a ball outside. It is 1-0. At Bergeson's 1 start in this ballpark, it was by far his worst outing of the year. He lost 9-2 here back on June the 14th. The 1-0 pitch is popped up behind the second base bag, drifting onto the outfield grass. Garrett Weber, he'll make the catch. Guillen retired, 1 out. And Wellington Dotel, the center fielder, will step in. Bergeson gave up all 9 runs scored by Bridgeport in that game on 13 hits over 5 innings. He gave up home runs to Darby Myers and Jonathan Galvez. 1 out here. Dotel steps in. Wellington batting .308 now with a home run, 7 runs batted in, 5 for 8 in the current series. He shows bunt and then takes a strike. It's 0-1. Bergeson lately has been the Barnstormers' best. He has won 4 starts in a row. Ground ball shortstop here. Nate Coronado with an easy pickup, easy throw across the diamond to Steve Clevenger. 2 up and 2 down. Tony Abreu will come to the plate. Now, the Barnstormers would like for Bergeson's winning streak to get the 6 tonight and Monday. And, well, then if it breaks, nobody really cares all that much. 8-6 for Bergeson on the season. Tony Abreu steps in, switch hitting second baseman, batting .315. The Bergeson offering is there for a called strike. It is 0-1. This lineup for Luis Rodriguez is interesting and effective. He has average hitters who don't hit many home runs, stacked at the top, nothing in 1, and the fastball is in too close to Abreu. 1 ball and 1 strike. And then you've got some significant power in Galvez, who's batting 5th in this game and often 6th down the road. Way inside, knocking Abreu back off the plate. It is 2-1. And Galvez is starting to sneak up among the RBI leaders, largely at Lancaster's expense. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bergeson goes to work. That is bounced foul up the first baseline. Past Clevenger, and the count goes to 2-2. The Barnstormers are pretty banged up. Cole Garner is out with a bad finger. Anderson De La Rosa has a sore elbow, and Steve Clevenger is playing on a bum knee. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bergeson peering in, has the sign, and the pitch just away. Ball 3 and 2 strikes on Abreu. Sean Burrows, the designated hitter, waits on deck, a man who has 4 base hits and 3 walks in the first 2 games of this series. Fouled away. Abreu sticks around. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The continuing count here. 2 outs, nobody on base. I got some major league experience, certainly. In the middle of this lineup as well, Abreu has been in the big leagues from 07 to 14. He fouls another one away. 3 balls and 2 strikes continuing. Abreu, a utility player who was with 4 different major league teams, 3 of them in the NL West. He was a Dodger, a Diamondback, and a Giant, also time with Kansas City. 3-2 again, and another foul off to the left. 2 outs, nobody on, no score as we play the bottom half of the first inning. Bridgeport won earlier today by a score of 7-1. No score in this one. Bergeson comes back, 3-2, rifled right at Clevenger. Hard hit line drive, Clevenger with that quick glove right there to make the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Bridgeport Bluefish in the bottom half of the first inning. We're at the end of 1, and there is still no score.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Not only does the Federal Tap House have the largest selection of craft draft beers in Lancaster City, they have amazing food to go along with those elite beers. Open every day for both lunch and dinner, their menu has something for everyone, including a special lunch menu available every Monday through Friday, as well as their normal menu. So when you're in the mood for great wood-fried pizzas, handcraft coal-fired burgers, or our all-inspiring duck fat fries, head over to the Federal Tap House. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster, open by 11:30 every day of the week.
Top half of the second inning, Steve Clevenger, Lastings Millage, and Garrett Weber set to face southpaw Manny Parra, who gave up a base hit and a walk in the first inning. Also threw a wild pitch, but no harm done. He struck out two, and Amaral was thrown out trying to steal. Scoreless ball game as we hit the second. Steve Clevenger will lead off. Clevenger has had the best series of any Barnstormer at the plate. He is 4 out of 6 here at Harbor Yard. With a double, he has also drawn a walk to get to 300 now in a Lancaster uniform. Left-handed batter facing an outfield that's straight away against him. Sharp ground ball to third, backhanded pick by Nina. He will fire across. Clevenger is retired 5-3. And Steve really is having a hard time getting down the baseline. So it's another thing to look out for. Lastings Millage, the left fielder, will step in, batting .275. He has 1 home run. He has driven in 33. And the Barnstormers are trying to get through all of these injuries before Monday. They're trying to rest everybody as much as they can. The problem is you lose Monday, and all these games where you're trying to nurse the injuries to get everybody for Monday can get away from you. Fastball for a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Well, the Barnstormers are caught betwixt and between here, and that's part of the problem with having to reschedule that deciding game now twice. The Barnstormers and, in a sense, Southern Maryland have had to recycle twice to get ready for the game. 1-1 on Millage. Garrett Weber, the second baseman, waits on deck. Here's the wind and a 1-1. Millage goes after an off-speed pitch, nicking it foul. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. No score in the second. A lot of room up the middle here for Lastings. Angel Rosa, the shortstop, swung into the hole. 1-2 delivery. Bouncer foul to the right side on a very protective swing by Millage. And he'll get to stay in with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lights have not been turned on yet, but they're going to be very necessary very soon as the sun is well on its way up the right field wall. Very dark out on the field at the moment. I think the lights may be just flickering on. There's a hopper towards shortstop. Charging the play is Rosa. His throw not in time. Millage speeds through the bag. He beats out the infield single. The Barnstormers have a 1-out runner on. Garrett Weber will step to the plate. Millage has also had a pretty decent series here. That is his 4th hit. They've all been singles. He stole a couple bases last night. First game went by without an extra base hit. Millage came close in the 7th inning, but didn't want to take the gamble and go to second as the Barnstormers were trailing by several runs. It's only the 3rd time all season that Lancaster has gone without an extra base hit. Throw gets away from Galvez. He had to try and reach around Millage, couldn't reel it in. Lastings up the second on the error. We'll double check the scorebook, but my immediate thought is he won. Runner at second base, Garrett Weber, still looking to see a pitch. 291 for Garrett with 11 home runs. He still has not hit one since that dramatic game winner back on July 2, rather, outside and low. Ball one and no strikes. And indeed, it is an error charged to the pitcher, Para, getting Millage into scoring position. Bad pickoff throw. 1-0. Weber with a swing and a fly ball foul to the right. We go to 1-1. Garrett in the lineup is the second baseman here in game 2. Sean Halton back over to third. Tyler Clark is doing the catching. 1 strike. Here's the motion, and it's way outside to Garrett. Molina has to reach for it, well wide. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Barnstormers are getting an extra pitcher when they get back home. And again, we've talked about this for a couple of weeks. It's somebody we have had in the past. He's coming in on Friday. To Weber now, 2-1, driven foul to the right, 2-2. And the one hint, this may be a giveaway, but there's a direct tie to where we're playing right now. 2-2 on Weber. Millage, the runner at second base with 1 out. Nate Coronado's on deck. Coronado grounded into 3 6-4-3 double plays in this afternoon's game. Here comes the 2-2. Weber takes outside on a fastball. 3-2 from Manny Para. Now, the Barnstormers have not led in this series, and they have only been tied at the end of a full inning now twice, and that was at the end of the first inning this afternoon and at the end of the first inning tonight. 3-2 to Weber. Inside and low, ball 4. Para serves up his second walk of the night. Are they trying to set up another double play out of Coronado? Nate at .337 after losing his 8-game hitting streak in game 1. 1 home run, 13 runs batted in. He did it twice against the starter Rainy Lara and then again against Manny Del Carmen in the 7th inning. So after that, Angel Rosa is on the alert at shortstop. Millage at second, Weber at first with 1 out. Coronado drove in 2 runs with a double here last night. Here is the motion and the pitch, a swing and a miss against Para. 0-1 on Coronado. Tyler Clark, the catcher, waits on deck. Switch hitter who will bat from the right side. Garner, I'm told, may be back for tomorrow night's series opener against Somerset. De La Rosa's out for a while. Here's the 0-1. Coronado wraps that up the middle. Base hit center field. Charging around is Millage. Firing home is Dotel. That throw is offline, and the other runners will move to second and third. Nate Coronado gives the Barnstormers their first lead of the series with a solid single into center. Weber to third, Coronado to second on the throw home, and Tyler Clark will bat with 2 runners in scoring position. Tyler at 173 with a home run and 10 runs batted in. And of course, the right side of the plate has been his weaker side, but eventually he's going to start coming through right-handed. He's looked a lot better here in his last few ball games right-handed. He's got his rooting section behind him, as he told you earlier today, here at Harbor Yard. 2 runners in scoring position for him. The infield will stay back. And the pitch to Clark, a breaking ball, cut on and missed. He went down to a knee. It is no balls and 1 strike. Coronado right back at it. He has now hit safely in 20 of his 24 games as a Barnstormer. And that was his 14th run batted in. No balls and 1 strike, the count to Clark. Bo Amaral waits on deck. Here comes the 0-1. It is low and leaks on through Molina. Streaking for the plate is Weber, and he will score. On to third goes Coronado, and it's 2-0. And we'll have to await a ruling there. Meanwhile, is a ball and a strike on Tyler Clark. The ball got through the 5-hole on Gustavo Molina. It's the second one he's failed to block while handling Parra. Weber read it, and it was fairly close at the plate. Now the infield will pull in. Tyler Clark batting at a ball and a strike. Wild pitch is charged, allowing Weber to score. Here's the pitch to Tyler. Good-looking breaking ball. That's in there. The count is 1-2 on Clark. Lancaster with 2 runs on the board here in the second inning, and Coronado perched at third. All Clark has to do is get the ball past the infielders. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Parra will look for the knockout punch here, and a swing and a miss by Clark against that breaking ball again. 3rd strikeout for Parra. He's used it to get out of some trouble here tonight. Now Bo Amaral will come around. Amaral singled into center field back in the first inning. Lancaster up 2-0 in the top of the second. Trying to avoid the sweep here at Harbor Yard, their final visit here in the regular season this year, or as we have heard, ever. And there are all these rumors swirling around about how the Atlantic League will fill that 8th slot for next year if Bridgeport, in fact, is done. Amaral nearly hit a ball inside, 1-0. And I've heard Road Warriors. I've heard Camden. I've heard Atlantic City. I've heard Fort Worth. And I've heard maybe one of the Can-Am League ballparks. So they're all rumors. Nothing. One of those is reality, but I have no idea which one. Inside to Amaral, 2 balls and no strikes. Coronado, the runner at third, now with 2 outs. And 2 runs on the scoreboard here in the top of the second inning. Lights have been turned on here at Harbor Yard. Coronado with the lead. Here's the 2-0. Ball 3 is low. 3 balls and nothing. Lancaster with 3 hits. The Barnstormers have also picked up a couple of walks. Only 1 batted ball has been turned into an out. And that was Clevenger's leadoff ground ball this inning. Amaral awaits the 3-0. We'll see if he takes here. The pitch is low, and the Barnstormers pick up their 3rd walk from Parra. It's up to Trayvon Robinson now, but Trayvon, one of the 3 strikeout victims for Parra so far tonight. That was the 39th pitch from Parra already. 2 outs. Robinson will step in. Coronado, the runner at third. Amaral now aboard at first. Does Amaral try to run again? You've got good speed on both ends here. Amaral cut down by quite a bit back in the first inning. Parra will come set, and to Robinson, a first pitch strike. It is 0-1. Two singles, 2 walks, a wild pitch in the inning, 2 runs are on the board. 0-1 to Trayvon Robinson. Parra comes back, gets a little bounder foul. That's the 2nd strike. It is 0-2. His breaking stuff, though, has a lot of hitters mesmerized so far tonight. Millage reached on the infield base hit. Coronado is the one right-handed batter who's stung the ball at all. Parra has his 3 strikeouts against right-handed hitters, 2 of them the switch hitters. And he's going for it against Robinson again, 0-2 to Trayvon. Parra will instead throw to first and check Amaral. Robinson trying to tack on a 3rd run. Coronado has been waiting over there at third base now for a while. This is the 3rd batter since Nate arrived at third base. Robinson bats 0-2. Here's the motion and the pitch. Robinson leaned, didn't go. The pitch low. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Three hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 wild pitches. That's a bizarre combination, but it's Manny Parra, 34-year-old crafty lefty, dealing a lot of breaking stuff, a lot of off-speed pitches. Molina's had some difficulty handling him so far. 1-2 to Trayvon Robinson. That is outside. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. On deck is the designated hitter Josh Bell, who batted 9th in game 1. And he is in the lineup as the number 3 hitter, as a right-handed batter here in game 2. 2-2. Now to Robinson. Parra to the set. Emerald's not going, and the pitch breaks inside. Trayvon has taken it all the way to full, and now Emerald will get the start. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Robinson will take the walk to get Bell to the plate. He'd prefer a base hit with that runner at third. Payoff pitch is coming. Parra to the plate. Ground ball towards short. Rosa will make the play. Long throw across. It is bounced in and handled by Galvez on the back end. 6-3 for the final out. Here in the second inning, Robinson slaps the ground ball to the hole at short. Rosa able to make the stop, and it was a long bounce to Galvez, and he managed to hang on. 2 runs in the inning on 2 Lancaster base hits. There was an error, and as it turns out, 2 runners are left on base. We'll go to the bottom half of the second inning, and we'll see if Brad Bergeson can hold the Barnstormers' first lead of the series. Lancaster 2, Bridgeport nothing. Enjoy great ballpark food at discount prices. The Lancaster Barnstormers offer numerous chances to enjoy your favorite ballpark foods this summer. On Sundays, Burke's hot dogs are only $1 all game long. Hess's Barbecue brings back the all-you-can-eat pig roast on Mondays and all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are also Fill Your Tummy nights at the stadium, where for only $10, you can stuff yourselves with popcorn, hot dogs, fries, nachos, and soda. Upstairs, we have Pat's Pizza and Pinball Mondays and Fat Pig's Wing Wednesdays, where you can pair food and beer with a Barnstormers game. Barnstormers baseball, make a night of it.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Brad Bergeson works a strike across to the designated hitter Sean Burrows. No balls and a strike. Burrows has 3 singles, a double, and 3 walks in the series so far. Wraps it on the ground foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Burrows. In the lineup is the designated hitter here in game 2, ordinarily the first baseman. On top of that, Burrows has scored twice. He has driven in 4 runs. The windup and the 0-2 upstairs. Ball 1 and 2 strikes to Burrows. Jonathan Galvez and Andrew Lambo are scheduled to follow. This is a very healthy batting order for Bridgeport and a lineup that has been together most of the year. They brought Lambo in. Ground ball pulled foul. Still a ball and 2 strikes. They lost Alberto Callaspo, a middle infielder, but they have been able to fill that hole. One and 2, and to Burrows, high and inside. He has to skedaddle. Ball 2 and 2 strikes. 1-2-3 inning for Bergeson in the first. Burrows is putting up a fight. You didn't expect him to go away easily. Here's a 2-2, looped out to left field. Coming on is Millage. Lastings is there for out number 1. Bergeson retires his 4th straight. Here is Jonathan Galvez, who has had the tendency in this series to drive in runs late. He has 4 RBIs last night on his last 2 at-bats and a 3-run homer on his final at-bat this afternoon. 1 out here, nobody on base. And Bergeson delivers outside for ball 1. It is 1-0. Wind blowing out the left field. Galvez needed no help. He bounced a ball off the hockey arena in the 5th inning in game 1. Bergeson missing again. A little bit low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. The left-handed batting Lambo waits on deck. 2-0 Lancaster, bottom half of the 2nd inning. Bergeson is ready to go. 2-0 pitch popped up on the right side of the infield. Calling for this, Weber. Near the edge of the infield lawn, he makes the catch. Second pop-up, Garrett's handled. With 2 away, Lambo will step to the plate. Lefty hitter at .281 with 4 homers and 23 runs batted in.
The left fielder, number 35, Andrew Lambo.
Lambo, he interviewed the last time we were here. He is as you may recall from that interview, a cancer patient with testicular cancer. First pitch is low, ball 1 and no strikes. Another guy with major league experience. Oakland and Pittsburgh in his background. First time we've seen him in this series. He's hit .281 for Bridgeport with 4 homers and 23 driven in. 1-0 pitch. This is hit well the other way. Millage going back. Millage sets up at the wall, and the walls will not contain it. An opposite field home run for Andrew Lambo with the wind blowing that way, and it's 2-1. Just like that, Bridgeport is on the board in an entirely different manner. Lambo, just a fly ball up into the wind to left field. The opposite field home run is his, and now Gustavo Molina will step in.
The catcher, number 31, Gustavo Molina.
Well, that happened just out of the blue. Now Molina stands in against Bergeson. First pitch strike. It is 0-1. Bergeson, like the rest of this pitching staff, has been home run prone, more than we're used to seeing. Ripped the short. Oh, backhanded stop. Coronado. The throw gets Molina. Put a star by that one in the scorebook. Nate Coronado, a dandy of a play in the hole at short on the crisp 1 hopper off the bat of Gustavo Molina. 1 run scores in the bottom of the inning, though, on 1 hit with no errors and nobody left. We'll go to the 3rd. It is Lancaster 2 and Bridgeport 1. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Top half of the third inning, and it will be Josh Bell, Sean Halton, and Steve Clevenger against left-hander Manny Parra. 2-1, the Barnstormers in the lead. A couple of odd runs in the top of the second. The Barnstormers do not have an extra base hit the entire day. Last night, they had 3 doubles and a triple. They've given up the long ball today. You're not going to hit it to right field today. You've got to hit it to left. With the wind blowing out the left field as it is, it's very reachable, and Andrew Lambo discovered that. An opposite field swing. Looked initially like Millage would have room, but the ball kept going. First pitch swinging is Bell. He fouls it off to the right. No balls, 1 strike. Josh with a walk, got the second on a wild pitch back in the first inning, but that was as far as he would advance. Parra comes back, 0-1, tapped foul at the plate, and a second strike. A long second for Manny Parra. Barnstormers have got to try and put together some kind of a massive inning. They've got to really be able to swing the bats here tonight, I think. 0-2, outside to Bell, ball 1 and 2 strikes. Bergeson, no matter what, is going to come out after 5 or 6 innings. The bullpen's had a rough time in this series. 1-2 to Bell. Parra comes back and dissects the zone with his breaking pitch, called strike 3. Manny Parra with his 4th strikeout of the ball game. 1 out. Here's Sean Halton, who also was a strikeout victim. He fanned back in the first inning. 8 Barnstormers struck out this afternoon. The bats swinging all right last night, but very quiet here today. Lancaster has 3 runs on 8 hits, playing in the 10th inning of this doubleheader, and none of the hits for extra bases. First pitch from Parra gets away, bouncing past the feet of Halton and all the way to the backstop. 1 ball, no strikes. Defense playing Halton the pull here rather drastically. Sean gets a fastball up top, 2-0. Dotel well toward left center. There's a ton of room in right center. The infield also is shifted around to the left. 2 balls and no strikes. And the left-hander Parra fires a fastball, gets it across at the knees. We get to 2-1. Halton hitless here in Bridgeport. Drives a foul out of play over on the right side. We go to 2-2. And Sean hasn't done much against Bridgeport all year. He has 3 home runs in the season series, and those are his only 3 runs batted in. Last time we were here, he was just 1 out of 10. That was one of those solo home runs. 2-2. Here's the motion and the pitch. Foul to the right side once again. Sean Halton continuing to bat at 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out, nobody on base. Clevenger waiting on deck. Parra comes back. Here's the 2-2. Beaten foul over towards Steve. Still a 2 ball and 2 strike count. Lancaster with a 2-1 lead, top of the third. Nate Coronado driving in 1 run, the other scoring on a wild pitch in the top of the inning. And then Andrew Lambo answers with the solo home run in the bottom of the second. Bergeson has retired everyone outside of that home run. Here's a 2-2 again on Halton. Swung on, yanked down the left field line. That is headed for the corner. Chasing it down is Lambo. He'll pick it up against the fake brick. And into second goes Halton with a double. 1 out here in the third inning. 24th 2-base hit for Sean Halton on the season. And his 49th extra base hit total. Steve Clevenger to the plate with 1 out and the runner in scoring position.
The first baseman, Steve Clevenger.
4th hit for the Barnstormers. They finally have that extra base knock tonight, or today in general. Clevenger digging in. Millage waiting on deck. 2 chances to score Halton. And a Clevenger first pitch fastball in there. A strike called. Oh, and 1. The southpaw ready to go. Clevenger looks at a second strike. 0-2. Halton has had himself a very good year. He has to be in the MVP race. Tied for the league lead in home runs. Has the RBI lead. Up there in things like total bases, slugging percentage, extra base hits. 0-2 breaking ball, darts low. First ball to Clevenger, 1-2 as he tries to pick up a run here in the third inning. 0 for 1 is Clevenger on a ground out. One ball and 2 strikes once again. Parra glancing back at Halton. Here's the pitch. Fastball is up. Clevenger goes to 2-2. Parra has thrown a lot of pitches to get to this point. Two. There's a look back at Halton. Now to Clevenger. Ground ball shortstop. Halton's going to take third on the play. And Rosa fires across the diamond. Clevenger retired 6-3. 2 outs with a man at third. Lastings Millage will take another infield base hit. Then he'll get the run home. He scored on the single by Coronado back in the second inning. Millage's batting average slowly back on the uptick here. 2 outs with a runner at third. Lancaster trying to add a run. Parra will go to work on Millage and miss outside. 1-0. Garrett Weber, the second baseman, due next. Parra's averaging over 20 pitches an inning. 30 last inning and 17 here in the third. 1 ball, no strikes. Millage with a line drive out to right center field and in for a base hit and past Dotel. It's going all the way to the wall. Halton scores easily. Millage is sprinting toward third, and he's going to be in easily with a triple. 3 bases for Lastings Millage. The Barnstormers with a 3-1 lead. Lastings with his first triple of the season. Halton coming across easily. The Barnstormers leading by 2, and Garrett Weber will try to bring Millage home. Weber with a walk, and he scored the second run back in inning 2. Millage, a line drive that had enough on it to get past Dotel, go all the way to the fence in deep right center. Now Weber takes one of those big breaking balls for a strike. It is 0-1. Lancaster back in the lead by 2. Time called at the plate. A double by Halton, a triple by Millage. Here in the top of the third inning. To Weber. The 0-1 is on the way. It's sailed. Well outside, a ball and a strike. Molina kept it from getting on by. Weber digs back in, awaiting the 1-1 offering. Part of the plate, and that slips past the outside corner for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nate Coronado on deck. He drove in a run last inning. Southpaw Parra ready to go. 2-1. Weber, a hopper over the mound. It'll get to Rosa, the shortstop. He throws low and throws it away. Millage has scored, and Weber is going to be pointed to second base, I think, or maybe not. Richie Katz, he's pointing him to second base. So an infield base hit for Weber. He will get an RBI. It was a tough play in front of second base. And then an error is being charged. I'm reading both on the scoreboard. A 6th base hit has been posted. A second error has been posted. And that's the way it's going to be. Just E6 on the overthrow. To Coronado outside. Ball 1, no strikes. The Barnstormers with a 4-1 lead. 42nd run batted in for Weber. Millage has driven in his 34th. Coronado batting 1-0. Weber leads from second. That is high and outside. Ball 2. And Nate may not see very much here. First base open. Tyler Clark on deck. Parra could take his chances there. 2 balls and no strikes to Coronado. The bat started and did not go far enough. Ball 3, inside and low. Weber leading from second base. Here's a 3-0. Coronado gets the walk. Ball 4 is high. And now it is up to Clark. Parra has walked 4 now. Given up 6 hits. This is sort of reminiscent of last night with all the base runners put on by Bridgeport. They were 30 out of 51 reaching base in that game last night. Well, the Barnstormers tonight have had 10 guys out of 17 reach, so it's the same pace. The Barnstormers with a 4-1 lead over Bridgeport in the top of the third, and Tyler Clark trying to cash in on the opportunity as Manny Parra's pitch count has climbed to 71, and he's still not out of the third inning. Pitching coach Rich Garces has gone out to pay a visit. Barnstormers staking Brad Bergeson to a 3-run lead as he looks for his 9th win of the season. Still, he's got to contend with this Bridgeport batting order for a while, and then the bullpen will have to do its best to shut them down. That has been a tall order, so the more runs, the merrier. And Clark will try to add to the Barnstormers' coffers here. Went down swinging back in the second inning. The motion and a Tyler, a strike, nibbles the outside corner. It's 0-1. Tyler seeing nothing but breaking balls so far. And that's been Parra's MO in general. Weber at second, Coronado the runner at first. No balls and a strike to Clark. The pitch, this is a fastball, but not in the zone, up and away, a ball and a strike. Bo Amaral, the Barnstormers center fielder, waits on deck. 1 ball and 1 strike to Clark. Here's the motion, the pitch. Tyler gets the breaking pitch in there. It is 1-2. Parra has him completely confused with that breaking ball. Swinging at it a couple of times out of the zone and taking it in the zone. Here's a 1-2. There it is again, out of the zone. A swing and a miss. Clark's gone on strikes for the second time. But Lancaster does add 2 runs in the inning on 3 hits and an error. There were 2 runners left on base. Bottom half of the third inning coming up. The score, Lancaster 4 and Bridgeport 1.
All right, thanks, guys. Up here at the first base dugout, let's see the Bluefish Love and the Tanner and Jake.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Hey, Barnstormers fan, be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
It will be interesting to see how Luis Rodriguez uses his bullpen as this game progresses. Manny Parra with 75 pitches thrown over the first 3 innings. Brad Bergeson's thrown 26 in the first 2. He'll be facing Angeles Nina, Angel Rosa, and Osmi Guillen, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Turning into a beautiful evening here in Bridgeport, though it may get somewhat cool by the time it is all over with.
The third baseman, number 3, Angeles.
Here's Nina, 231 with a couple of home runs, 16 runs batted in. He drove in the first 2 runs of the day game with a double over the head of Bo Amaral in center. First pitch fastball for a strike. It is 0-1. And I had talked about that at length. It doesn't matter where Bo plays, they hit it away from him. He plays shallow, they hit it over his head. He plays deep, they drop it in shallow. Foul back by Nina. Bergeson gets ahead, 2 strikes. Slender right-hander Brad Bergeson, California native. He's been commuting from Baltimore, but his son Parker starting school down in Auburn, Alabama, where the year-round home is. So Brad will be staying in Lancaster. The 0-2 pitch, Nina takes down and away. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Bergeson comes back, and ball 2 completely eludes Tyler Clark to no harm. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Around the Atlantic League, Long Island leading Southern Maryland 4-1 in the 5th. York has Somerset down 1-0 in the 5th. They've written 6, Sugar Land 2, bottom half of the 5th inning. Here's a 2-2, swing and a miss. Clark holds on. Maybe a foul tip there, and Nina is gone on strikes. First strikeout for Bergeson. Was retired 7 of 8. Angel Rosa will step in. Rosa, the shortstop, right-handed batter, hitting 180 with 7 runs batted in. You look at this bench for Luis Rodriguez. We haven't seen anything of Jose Cuevas in this series. We haven't seen anything of Darby Myers, though they are listed on the active roster. But Daniel Fields was hit in the hand last night. They've still got Hernandez available. They've still got Heel available. Fastball for a strike. It is 0-1. It's that time of year teams get banged up. The nagging injuries take over. Bergeson's delivery popped up. Clevenger fading back and makes the catch in foul territory. Rosa is dispatched quickly. 2 are out. And here is Osni Guillen. Popped out to the second baseman, Weber, leading off the ball game. 4-1 Lancaster here in game 2. Barnstormers trying to win their 59th of the season. I think a pretty reasonable goal is 80. The ball club at the moment 58-43 after dropping the last 3 games. If they can win 80, even if something happens and they don't get to the playoffs, that's a great season. When you have this split season, divisional schedule, crazy things can happen. I've detailed some of my experiences with it over the years. But 80 wins would be 80 wins. You want to see the Barnstormers there. You want to see them win a championship. 0-1. Gian shows bunt, takes a pitch outside, a ball and a strike. But no matter which way you slice it, this has been, out of the 13 years, one of the 4 or 5 best clubs we've had. One, swing and a miss behind a fastball was Gian. A ball and 2 strikes. I don't know how you rank that. To me, the 2014 team, the second championship team, ranks 3rd. 2012, the best regular season team, but I've got to put 06 ahead of 12 because 06 won the championship and won both halves. 2012, the club tied for the second half, and by the league rules, the second half was given to York. Both teams were going to go anyway. 1-2, and Gian takes ball 2 inside, barely. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2014 would rank 3rd. Two offering, and that ball is pounded deep to right center field. Sprinting back on it is Amaral. It is past him and rolling all the way to that deep alley. Here's Gian sprinting for 3rd. There will be a throw, there will be a play, and he is out at 3rd base on a terrific relay throw from Garrett Weber. Right on line to Halton. Oh, what a throw from the second base position. Gian gets a double. He is out going into 3rd. Brilliant relay, and Gian is cut down to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're headed to the 4th inning. It is Lancaster 4 and Bridgeport 1.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
The Federal Tap House is a great place to stop by after a Barnstormers game and continue your enjoyable evening in downtown Lancaster. Featuring 100 beers on tap, including many craft beers from here in Central PA, the Federal Tap House has something for everyone's palate, not to mention a full bar and elegant wine selection for the non-beer geeks in the group. For the entire lineup of brews, check online at federaltaphouse.com. That's at Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street, just blocks from Clipper Magazine Stadium, or at their other location in Harrisburg.
4 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Lancaster is stranded 5, and it's 1 run on 2 hits with 2 errors, and nobody left on base for the Bridgeport Bluefish after that wonderful relay. Here is Bo Amaral stepping in to lead off the 4th. He has singled and walked already here in game 2 after going hitless game 1. The Parra offering, breaking ball, chopped foul behind the plate, no balls and a strike. Manny Parra has gone very deep into the counts. He has had long innings, especially the last 2, 30 pitches in each of the last 2 frames, yielding 2 runs in each. Amaral awaits the 0-1. That is a second strike across the letters. Now 0-2. Kick, next offering, bends outside and low. Amaral able to keep the bat in check, though it did start. Ball 1, 2 strike the count. 8-4-5 on that relay to end the third inning. Amaral goes down swinging, and that is the 6th strikeout for Manny Parra. One away in the 4th. Trayvon Robinson to the plate. He's 0-for-2. He has struck out and grounded out. Parra has struck out 6. He has walked 4. He has thrown 2 wild pitches. Lancaster has gotten to him for 6 hits and 4 runs. So it's really been a mixed bag for the left-hander, but he can devastate you with a breaking pitch, and there's more than one in there. Trayvon Robinson gets a fastball away, 1-0. But I doubt that Parra will last more than 5 tonight. 1-0 out to center field. That is carrying on Dotel, but he'll go back, square up, and make the catch. Robinson retired for the 2nd out. Josh Bell will come to the plate. When the Barnstormers have hit the ball deep in this series, they have hit it to the fat part of this ballpark. They have not been able to attack the left field wall at all. And that is generally the more reachable direction here. There are nights you can hit the ball out to right, but Lancaster came close a couple of times last night with doubles over Guillen's head. The pitch to Bell breaks into the zone for strike 1. Parra is having a much quicker inning in the top half of the 4th. Ahead of Bell, 0-1. Parra comes back and hits the outside corner. A second strike, 0-2. Bell not so sure about that one. But Parra is just hitting the zone with regularity this inning. To Bell, 0-2. That one misses. Ball 1, 2 strikes to Josh. Sean Halton's on deck. Five swinging third strikes, 1 called. And there is the 6th one swinging. Bell goes down. Parra matched the strikeout total from his last start with 7. Nothing across in the top half of the 4th. 3.5 in the books. It is Lancaster 4 and Bridgeport 1.
All right, guys, we got 2 great shows up here.
Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg is your hometown appliance store with hometown values. We always give back to our community, and this year we are proud to be a sponsor of the East Petersburg Amphitheater Project. Stop in and purchase from us and keep your money here, helping others in your community. We are back again this season with a $25,000 giveaway at the stadium, and you can stop in and register for a Barnstormers game jersey. We want to be your appliance store and give back to all of you. Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg.
Four-1 Barnstormers. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll take a peek at the Major League scoreboard. Some night games in MLB. The Washington Nationals currently up 3-1 over the Miami Marlins. They're in the bottom of the 4th. Ryan Zimmerman with his 25th home run. Yankees hold a 3-2 lead all on solo home runs. That's in the bottom of the 4th. Frazier Sanchez and Gregorius with the long balls. Boston holds an early 1-0 lead at Tampa. They are through 3.5 innings of play. Cincinnati owns a 4-0 edge on San Diego. Suarez with his 19th. They're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Ian Kinsler is homered tonight. Detroit out to a 3-0 lead over Pittsburgh. Bottom half of the 4th inning there. Phillies are up 2-0 at Atlanta in the top half of the 3rd. Astros failed to score in the 1st inning at Chicago. Twins and Brewers scoreless at the end of 1 in Milwaukee. First pitch to Wellington Dotel. Nicks the outside corner. A called strike, 0-1. Dotel grounded out to Nate Coronado back in the 1st inning. Ferguson deals. That is cut on and missed. Served him a breaking ball, and now Ferguson has control of the at-bat. No balls, 2 strikes. 12 innings of baseball today, and the Rockies ended up toppling Cleveland 3-2. Rangers beat the Mets 5-1. 0-2 pitch. Dotel drives a foul off to the right. Still 2 strikes. Mariners over the A's 6-3. Nelson Cruz with a couple of home runs. Angels defeated the Orioles 5-1. Giants 3 and the Cubs 1. Madison Bumgarner seems to be back in fine form. Outside and low to Dotel. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Royals have scored 2, and they're still batting in the first inning at St. Louis. They threw that one in the middle of the finals on me. Dodgers and Diamondbacks later. Swing and a miss at a fastball inside. Dotel has gone on strikes. Ferguson fans his second with 1 away. The batter will be Tony Abreu, who whistled a line drive into the glove of first baseman Steve Clevenger back in the first inning. One out, nobody on, lower half of the 4th inning. Ferguson ready to go, and Abreu almost hit. Clark able to knock it down behind the feet of Abreu, who's currently batting left-handed. 1 ball, no strikes. Abreu, 32 years of age, native of the Dominican Republic. Swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tony is actually his middle name. His first name is Stanislaw. High drive out toward left center field. Back on this goes Amaral, but Bo has room this time and makes the catch. That is out number 2. Sean Burroughs stepping in. Burroughs 0 for 1 against Ferguson with a fly out to left field back in the 2nd inning. At the left-handed batters, we have seen Lambo do it successfully. Abreu here and Burroughs, they're trying to get the ball in the air the other way against Ferguson. Lambo hit the home run. Burroughs flied out. Abreu just flied out. Now a hopper towards second base. Backing up on it to play the big bounce is Weber. He's got plenty of time. It's a 9-pitch inning for Brad Ferguson in the bottom half of the 4th. So he's good through 4, and the Barnstormers are good through 4 with a 4-1 lead.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with the Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 306 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350, IS all-wheel drive, and IS Turbo. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Dave Collins with you from the ballpark at Harbor Yard again. The final time we'll come here for a regular season ball game. The Bluefish closing up shop. After this year, the franchise will be moved, but to where we do not know as of yet. There is Sean Halton, who has struck out and doubled so far, getting a pitch inside from Manny Parra. Ball 1, no strikes. Meanwhile, the Barnstormers will be coming back home. Somerset in for the next 4. Got a Silo Piggy Bank giveaway coming up on Friday night, courtesy of Wise Snacks. Fastball high and outside. Halton bats 2-0. Fireworks on Saturday, presented by UPMC for you. It's home runs against Hunger Weekend. Don't know the details there. We've got a post-game concert also on Friday night. Jimmy the Whale, 3-0 now to Halton. And we'll wrap it up with Dollar Dog Day and Bark in the Park on Sunday and the usual fun Sunday stuff. 3 balls, no strikes. Halton will look at one in the zone, now 3-1. We'll see how durable Manny Parra is. He hadn't been starting in Iowa, and he came out the last time and went 5 2/3. 3-1. Halton drives this out toward right center field, sinking quickly, and that is trapped by Dotel. The ball gets by him, rolls deep into center field. Halton sprinting around, and he is going to cruise into third. We'll see if they score that a single and a 2-base error or a triple all the way for Sean Halton. Dotel charged in, tried to make the shoestring grab. The ball got away from him. And Halton ends up at third. Looks like it's going to be a triple all the way for Sean. That'll be his 4th of the season, and the Barnstormers have an extra runner at third base with nobody out. Steve Clevenger will face a drawn-in infield. 7 Barnstormers hits now off of Parra tonight. That's the 3rd for extra bases. Halton at third, nobody out. And to Clevenger, a strike, tails back to the inside corner. It is 0-1. Millage on deck and Weber. You've got 3 shots to drive in the run. The infielders aren't all the way up, by the way. Here comes the 0-1. Clevenger swings, hits a chopper on the right side, and Halton throws at third. He would have scored on that easily. Clevenger out on the underhand toss. That's 1 away. The Barnstormers misread that over at third base. It was one of those high hoppers that Bridgeport is so famous for. And the second baseman, Abreu, would have had no chance if Halton had broken for the plate right away. Now here is Millage, who has singled and tripled here in tonight's ball game. He has scored 2 and knocked in 1. Halton still at third base with 1 out. Now the infielders get a little bit closer. The pitch to Lastings, breaks low and outside. Ball 1, no strikes. Garrett Weber waits on deck. But with nobody out, they had to make the decision fairly quickly, and Halton was checked over at third. Here's a 1-0. Millage pops it up foul. It'll come back out of play. A ball and a strike. This is a run the Barnstormers are going to need to get now. Clevenger chops out 4-3. Halton at third base with 1 away. You don't want to leave that runner out there on the leadoff triple. Millage batting at a ball and a strike. Parra working out of the windup. This is driven foul to the right. It's 1-2. Halton runs pretty well for such a big guy. If that had been read off the bat, there was going to be no play for Tony Abreu. 1-2 on Millage. Parra will go for the strikeout. Here's the motion and the pitch, high and outside. Make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Millage already has his 24th multi-hit game of the season. He's gotten 3 hits only twice, and one of those a 4-hit game. 2-2. Parra deals that is low in the dirt, gets away, and Millage thought he had ball 4, but that's not. That's ball 3. Oops. 3-2, and Molina got enough of it that Halton doesn't score. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Milledge looks like he's trying to point the blame for that. Assign the blame to somebody else. 3-2 to Lastings. Halton, the runner at third base with 1 out. Lancaster leading 4-1 here in the 5th inning. Payoff pitch coming from Para, and it's looped foul. Milledge stays with it. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. There is action starting, a right-hander throwing in the bullpen for Bridgeport. They have used their one left-hander, Wander Perez, in each of the first 2 games of this series with big leads. I don't know that he would be available tonight. 3-2 again to Milledge. And the pitch, line drive, left center field. Over on it goes Lambo. He will take it, but Halton is going to break for the plate and score after tagging up Milledge with the sac fly, and it's a 5-1 ball game. Well, it was a little bit easier, I'll have to admit, to score Halton on that than on that the bounder off the bat of Clevenger. 35th run batted in now for Lastings. 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Garrett Weber steps in. He has walked and reached on an infield base hit. He has a run scored, a run batted in. The left-hander Para ready to go. First pitch fastball in there, strike 1. The pitch count is very high. Para at 99. He misses inside with his 100th. Garrett Weber batting at a ball and a strike. Nate Coronado's on deck, and he might have to face the bullpen if he gets up this inning. Ball 2 below the knees on Weber. 2 balls, 1 strike. 5-1 Barnstormers. Brad Bergeson has thrown very well so far. To Weber, 2-1. That's stung up the middle. Base hit center field. Lancaster chalking up hit number 8. Nate Coronado scheduled. He has singled in a run and walked. And Luis Rodriguez is already well on his way to the mound. Barnstormers get the Para tonight over 4 2/3 innings. Rodriguez is not forced to make the change here. And now he signals to the bullpen. So that is going to be it for Manny Para. He'll come out after 4 2/3 innings. Rodriguez will go to his pen. And with the pitching change in the works, we're going to pause for these messages.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Frank DiGiulio Jr. takes over in the 5th inning, facing Nate Coronado with 2 outs and Garrett Weber, the runner at first base. DiGiulio pitched a scoreless inning last night. The Barnstormers hit him hard. Amaral had a triple, and the 2 batters after that put some steam on the ball, with Robinson lining to second and Garner lining to center. They failed to score off DiGiulio, however. He is 3-4 in his 43 appearances with a 4.53 earned run average, 53 hits allowed in 47 2/3 innings. Parra tonight ended up throwing 102 pitches in 4 2/3 innings, allowing 8 hits and 4 walks. He threw 2 wild pitches and also struck out 7. Coronado had singled in a run against him and had also drawn a 4-pitch base on balls, which struck me as being semi-intentional. Coronado will step in. Tyler Clark in the on-deck circle. Clark struck out twice against Parra, but he is far deadlier as a left-handed batter. They'll want to get Coronado here. Weber, the runner at first, with 2 men gone. DeGiulio goes to work. Coronado, big swing and a miss. He was thinking long ball, 0-1. Coronado didn't have much of a day today. 0 for 3, 3 double play ground balls. Batting with 2 outs and a runner on here. DeGiulio back to the plate. 0-1 breaking ball. Doesn't quite get there. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Barnstormers need to be greedy here after you've watched what Bridgeport has done the first 2 games of this series. Swing and a miss. Coronado had a ball and 2 strikes. And again, he ended up on his heels, trying to get a ball up into that breeze, blowing out the left. Weber aboard at first base with 2 outs. Lancaster leading by 4. Biggest lead so far tonight here in the top half of the 5th inning. Weber takes off, 1-2 to Coronado, lashed to short and bounces on away from Rosa, rolling into shallow left field. Weber easily around to third, and Coronado is aboard at first base. That should be a base hit as Rosa tried to make the do-or-die pick to the backhanded side, and a ball smashed to his right. Tyler Clark coming to the plate. Clark has struck out twice, but now batting from what has been his favored side of the plate. They still haven't posted a ruling on that play, but that was going to be an awfully tough piece of glove work for Angel Rosa. And it is a single for Coronado. Tyler Clark digging in, gets a fastball high, ball 1. Coronado, another multiple hit game. It's his 10th. Nine hits now for Lancaster. 1 ball, no strikes to Tyler. DeGiulio comes back. The runner heads for second, and the runner heads for home. Weber scores. Coronado's on his way to third on a hesitant throw by Molina, and it bounced on through. They pull off the double steal. Coronado with his 7th, Weber his 3rd, and the Barnstormers get another run home. It is 6-1. They put the 3rd error on the board. That allows Coronado to get the 3rd. 1 ball, no strikes to Clark. Here is the next delivery. Tyler takes a pitch low again. Two balls, no strikes. Clark swings away and lofts a pop-up. May stay in play. Nina coming over, leans in, and doesn't have a chance. Clark stays alive, trying to pick up yet another run. The Barnstormers leading by 5, 3rd 2-run inning. That will also close out the books on Parra. He gives up 6 runs. Coronado belongs to DeGiulio, and they should all be earned. Tyler Clark awaiting the 2-1 offering. Chopper foul. We get to 2-2. Bo Amaral, the center fielder, waiting on deck. They still haven't filled in everything on the scorebook beyond Coronado stealing second. Tyler Clark batting 2-2. The pitch, Tyler swings and misses at a breaking ball again. 0 for 3 on strikes for Tyler tonight. But the Barnstormers collect 2 more runs, 3 hits. There was an error, and Coronado left over at third. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It is Lancaster 6 and Bridgeport 1.
All right, thank you. We're down here for the two-time. Let's all get the Bluefish round of applause for Logan.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
The lead for Brad Bergeson has grown to 5 as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. Jonathan Galvez, Andrew Lambo, and Gustavo Molina are scheduled to face Bergeson, who has retired 11 of 13 batters so far. 11 relatively easy outs and 2 deep fly balls, 1 a home run, the other a double on which Osdi Guillen was cut down trying to stretch it into a triple. A gamble not worth taking at the time, except when you hit a ball that far to right center field in this ballpark, you assume you're going to get to third base. The Barnstormers made an absolutely perfect relay. First pitch, a strike to Galvez. It is 0-1. Galvez popped up back in the 2nd inning. Bergeson into the motion, next offering, and that is knocked into center, a leadoff base hit. This is the first time that Bridgeport has gotten anything going against Bergeson early in an inning. Those other hits I mentioned came with 2 outs. Galvez is aboard. Lambo will step in. He was able to go oppo for his 5th Atlantic League home run back in the 2nd inning. It's 6-1, but the Barnstormers are very well aware of what Bridgeport is capable of doing. And Bergeson trying to shut things down here, hoping maybe for a double play ground ball. He only has 3 outs on the ground in the game. Lambo fouls this off to the left. No balls and a strike. Galvez, the runner. You've got to keep an eye on him, too. He's stolen 8. Despite the fact that the Bluefish are down by 5, they might want to get something started here. Runner on with nobody out. Lambo digging in. Down a strike in the count. Bergeson out of the stretch, deals. That's inside and pounced on by Tyler Clark. One ball, 1 strike. Bergeson to the plate, and he's up and away. Lambo gains the edge, 2-1. Gustavo Molina on deck, robbed by Coronado back in the 2nd inning. Very important for Bergeson to keep this going and not let that parade of base hits get started for Bridgeport, the top hitting club in the league. Line center field, there's another one. Lambo is on. 1st and 2nd with nobody out. Gustavo Molina coming to the plate. And Ferguson has had a very solid year for the Barnstormers, but when he starts giving up base hits, even with him, they can come in bunches. Molina stepping in. The Barnstormers in need of a ground ball double play here. Gustavo out 6-3 back in the second inning. It's back-to-back hits to open up the bottom half of the fifth off of Bergeson. Solid line drives to center from Galvez and Lambo. Ferguson goes to work on Molina. A foul ball back into the screen. No balls and one strike. Bridgeport with 24 runs on 29 hits the first two games of this series. And the top batting club in the Atlantic League. 0-1 on Molina. Ferguson checks back to Galvez, swing and a miss. Make it 0-2. Angeles Nina, the third baseman, waits on deck. Ferguson looking to nip this in the bud. 2 strikes on Molina. Clark sets the target. A look back at Galvez, and the pitch slapped on the right side. Over is Weber. He'll make the play and get one out as the runners move to second and third. Molina simply didn't get enough of it to push it through the hole. He was clearly aiming in that direction. Over on the right side, but he gave Weber the chance. Angeles Nina steps in. He struck out back in the third inning. It's one out with men at second and third, but a productive out for Molina. Nina drove in 2 runs earlier today. Three out of 7 with 3 runs batted in the series. Galvez at third, Lambo at second with 1 out. The infielders are back and the pitch is fouled away. 1 strike to Nina. Ferguson pitching with a lead, so he is going to attack here. No balls, 1 strike. Ferguson comes back. Nina slaps a ball into right field. That is a base hit. It will score 1. A long throw coming in from Trayvon Robinson, but Lambo wasn't coming. Nina with a base hit at 6-2. 3 hits in the inning, and Molina came close. Now here is Angel Rosa, who fouled out back in the third inning. Boy, this Bridgeport offense is unbelievable. 3 singles in the inning. We're going to have a mound visit from Scott Patterson. Give Bergeson a chance to regroup here in the 5th inning. Bridgeport comes out and whittles away at the lead. The singles attack starting again. That's what we saw last night. Tonight, or today, I should say, and into this evening, it was the long ball. But now 3 singles, all on line drives here in the 5th inning. 1 run is home. Lambo's at third. Nina's at first. And Rosa stepping in. Osney Guillen, with that long double back in the 3rd inning, waits on deck. All of a sudden, getting a little bit squeamish with this lead, having seen what Bridgeport is capable of doing. Ferguson has the signal. The pitch to Rosa is outside, ball 1. Six runs on the board for the Barnstormers here in 5 innings of game 2. Bridgeport is knocking some runs off the lead, and now it is ball 2 on Rosa. Guillen would get to the plate as the possible tying run if Rosa should walk here. Lambo off third, Nina off first base. Don't trust anything. Ferguson working 2-0. The pitch in the air, right field. Settling underneath is Robinson. Tagging off third is Lambo. Throw coming in, and he's safe. And on the play, Nina will go to second. A sacrifice fly for Angel Rosa. Close play at home. The throw was just a little bit to Tyler Clark's right. And Lambo able to stride home with the second run of the inning. It is now 6-3. Guillen will bat with Nina at second base and 2 outs. As Bridgeport played this inning well. It negates the 2 runs the Barnstormers scored in the top of the inning. Guillen steps in. He has popped up and doubled to deep right center. His 11th 2-base hit of the season. 3 singles and a sac fly in the inning. Nina leading off second base. Bergeson will bluff him back. Nobody was there to handle the throw. This offense that Bridgeport has will just wear you down. The pitch to Guillen, line drive, up for it goes. Weber will make the catch. Well, the Barnstormers catch a break there. The inning is over. 2-run score on 3 hits with no errors, and the runner left in scoring position another 6 inches to a foot higher, and this is a 6-4 ball game now. We're going to the 6th inning, and it's still Lancaster 6 and Bridgeport 3.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Not only does the Federal Tap House have the largest selection of craft draft beers in Lancaster City, they have amazing food to go along with those elite beers. Open every day for both lunch and dinner, their menu has something for everyone, including a special lunch menu available every Monday through Friday, as well as their normal menu. So when you're in the mood for great wood-fried pizzas, handcraft coal-fired burgers, or our all-inspiring duck fat fries, head over to the Federal Tap House. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster, open by 11:30 every day of the week.
Bo Amaral, Trayvon Robinson, and Josh Bell will face the right-handed reliever Frank DiGiulio Jr. here in the 6th. DiGiulio gave up a base hit to Coronado and then struck out Clark after taking over from Manny Parra last inning. Amaral 1 for 2, also has drawn a walk here in the nightcap. 9 hits for the Barnstormers, but Bridgeport now with 5 against Bergeson. Lancaster will try and start something else. DiGiulio ready to go. Amaral shows bunt and then takes a strike. It is 0-1. 8 Barnstormers have struck out here in the nightcap. 8 earlier today, only 5 last night. No balls and a strike to Bo. DiGiulio into his motion, and it is low. Ball 1 and strike 1. Barnstormers with about a 4-hour bus ride back home after this game. Getting settled in for 4 at home against Somerset. What was to be a 7-game homestand broken up by the makeup game on Monday down at Southern Maryland. Of course, that's for the first half. Ball 2 and a strike, and the forecast for that day has, the last I saw, cleared up. It's supposed to rain in the morning and maybe into the early afternoon, and we should be fine for that game. unlike the last time we went down there to play it. Amaral bats 2-1. DeJulio ready to go. The pitch is cracked deep to left center field. No one's getting that on the fly. This is extra bases for Bo. It's all the way to the wall. Amaral will fly around second. He's going for 3, and he will be in. It is the third Barnstormer triple of the game. Halton and Millage had him earlier. Amaral's third triple is a Barnstormer. He's at third with nobody out. Trayvon Robinson will come to the plate. 0 for 3 for Trayvon tonight. Lancaster trying to rebuild the lead that at one point was as big as 5. Bridgeport again will bring the infield in. This is the second inning in a row that has started with a triple. This is a ballpark that will give up the 3 base hits. First offering to Trayvon is inside. Ball 1, no strikes the count. The DeJulio offering fouled back. Trayvon didn't miss it by much. 1 ball, 1 strike. A 3 triple game. Indeed, a rarity. It's the second time the Barnstormers have done it in franchise history, and the other time was here as well. Called second strike to Robinson. DeJulio has him at 1-2. Josh Bell waits on deck. And then Sean Halton. 3 triples for the Barnstormers on August 28th of 2015. Here comes the 1-2. Trayvon looks at it. It's outside. Ball 2 and 2 strikes. That's Amaral's 9th extra base hit as a Barnstormer. He hasn't been around very long. 2-2. Robinson looks at ball 3 just off the inside corner. DeJulio wanted that one. Now the count is full to Trayvon. Trying to pick up his second RBI of the day and 29th of the year is Robinson. Infield pulled all the way in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the motion and the pitch. Robinson line drive, base hit, left field, make it 7-3. Nice at bat for Trayvon, waiting out DeJulio, and a ringing single into left. The Barnstormers pick up base hit number 11. Josh Bell will step in from the left side. Bell is 0 for 2 with a walk. He has struck out the other 2 times against Para. The lead is back at 4. It's still nobody out here in the 6th inning. The only time the Barnstormers have ever given up 3 triples in a game was also in this ballpark, also in August 24th of 2007. Throw goes to first. Robinson is back in. Adam Calderon has had 2 triples in the same game here, and I don't believe he's alone, but I distinctly remember that. And it seems to me Gilberto Mejia may have. Robinson out to a lead. Here's a pitch to Bell. He swings and misses. 0-1. Tough day for Josh. He has walked twice and struck out 4 times. High set by DeJulio. And a Bell up and away. Ball 1, strike 1. Robinson doesn't look inclined to go here. He's out to a very short lead. 14 steals in 16 tries for Trayvon. To Bell, 1-1. He gets underneath and hits a fly ball to right. Coming in on it is Guillen. He'll make the catch easily. First out for DeGiulio here in the 6th. Halton will come to the plate. Sean with a double and a triple so far here in game 2. Now with 50 extra base hits on the year, but he hasn't driven in a run. He has scored 2. When he had a chance to drive in a run, he struck out back in the first inning. Lancaster has scored in 4 of the last 5 frames, leading 7-3. Nobody is throwing in the Lancaster bullpen, so I've got to believe Bergeson is coming back out for the 6th. To Halton, breaking ball, and that is belted deep down the left field line and foul. No balls and a strike. But Halton knew that right away. Robinson back to first. Nothing in 1 to Sean. Steve Clevenger waits on deck. He can only hit ground balls off Parra. DeGiulio back with the 0-1. Check swing. They'll ask for help, and they get it from Richie Katz over at first. Halton trails 0-2. Halton winds that bat up, cocks it, gets ready to go. 2 strikes from DeGiulio. Breaking ball popped up on the right side. Calling for it is Galvez, who just about elbowed Robinson in the face. That's the 2nd out. Steve Clevenger will come to the plate. Clevenger is 0 for 3. You're supposed to clear room for the fielder. Galvez waving his arm, saying he had it, to kind of clipped Trayvon. Clevenger will dig in. Lancaster hasn't been able to follow up the Robinson base hit. Clevenger takes a pitch high and wide. Ball 1, no strikes. On deck is Lastings Millage. He had the hot hand against Manny Parra. He and Weber and Coronado, the 6 through 8 hitters, have had very big games here in game 2. The offering to Clevenger, cut on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Lancaster first baseman. Amaral, another 2-hit game. Those have become fairly commonplace for Bo. To Clevenger, a ball and a strike. He looks at ball 2 away, 2-1. Amaral with his 9th multi-hit game. And he has played 18 as a Barnstormer. Two balls, 1 strike to Clevenger. Robinson still hasn't shown any inclination to run. Clevenger gets ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. If certain guys played in Bridgeport, I think they'd rack up 20 triples a year in this yard. Strike 2 taken on the outside corner. Robinson will go now. It's automatic. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Robinson will go. Galvez drops behind him. The pitch chopped toward the middle. A long way to go for the second baseman, Abreu. He can set and make the throw with Clevenger running. 4th time in a row, Steve has grounded out in this game. Lancaster picks up 1. 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 7-3 Barnstormers. Enjoy great ballpark food at discount prices. The Lancaster Barnstormers offer numerous chances to enjoy your favorite ballpark foods this summer. On Sundays, Burke's hot dogs are only $1 all game long. Hess's Barbecue brings back the all-you-can-eat pig roast on Mondays and all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are also Fill Your Tummy nights at the stadium, where for only $10, you can stuff yourselves with popcorn, hot dogs, fries, nachos, and soda. Upstairs, we have Pat's Pizza and Pinball Mondays and Fat Pig's Wing Wednesdays, where you can pair food and beer with a Barnstormers game. Barnstormers baseball, make a night of it.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Brad Bergeson stays out for the 6th inning. He'll face Wellington Dotel, Tony Abreu, and Sean Burrows. Elsewhere in the Atlantic League, New Britain up 7-3 over Sugar Land in the bottom of the 8th. It's Long Island 4, Southern Maryland 1, top 7. And York over Somerset 4-2 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Barnstormers, it looks like, will need to win this game to stay a game up in the Freedom Division race. Fastball is high to Dotel, ball 1-0. Ferguson gave up a couple of runs in the 5th after motoring through the first 4 innings. Here's a 1-0 offering. Dotel swings and misses. 1-1. Only 2 strikeouts for Bergeson in the game. That's not atypical. That New Britain game, by the way, is now a final. 7-3 Bees over the Skeeters. One and 1 to Dotel. Next offering, foul to the corner of the screen over on the right side. Make it a ball and 2 strikes. Ferguson has the signal. And to Dotel, outside and low, 2-2. Brad tuning up for the start against Southern Maryland on Monday, that long-awaited game. Here's a 2-2. Dotel takes it into right, a base hit. They don't try to do too much, and they're starting to get the Bergeson. 6 hits now off Brad. It'll bring on Tony Abreu, who is 0 for 2 on a liner to first and a fly ball to center. Bridgeport is outstanding at the plate. This may be the most disciplined hitting team I have seen in the Atlantic League. What they can do. Leadoff man is aboard again this inning. Abreu tries to bunt his way on, pops it up foul into the seats, and goes down a strike. It is 0-1. Ferguson would love a double play ground ball. The pitch, that is hammered down the right field line, but hooking foul. Abreu will bat at 0-2. As a team, coming into the doubleheader today, Bridgeport was batting .301 off of Lancaster pitching and averaging 6 runs a game. They scored 7 in game 1 and hit .280 as a club. Here's the 0-2 up and away. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. But Bridgeport's starting to get into that mode now, like they were in against Gardner, especially last night, where they don't let a pitch go by unless it's a ball. They're not swinging and missing, and they're not taking strikes. 1-2 on Abreu. Bergeson's pitch chopped the second, and it gets under the glove of Weber out into right center field. It eluded Garrett, and runners will end up at first and third. Weber tried to charge the play and rush two and didn't get anybody as he let the ball slip under his glove. An error charged to Weber, and now Sean Burrows comes to the plate as the possible, well, not tying run yet. It's 7-3. Weber raced in to try and get a double play out of it, and the ball snuck under his glove. Runner safe at first and third. Burrows to the plate. Sean Burrows is 0 for 2. Dotel singles into right. Abreu hit the bouncer to second, and Weber got caught in between hops. Ferguson to Burrows, popped up. Third base side, Clark coming over. Does Clark have a play? No, he can't quite get the glove on it before crashing into the railing, and Burrows is alive at 0-1. That ball was still on the field of play, but in a very tough spot, wedged between the fence on the side of the dugout and the box seat railing. Clark tried to get into that cranny, but couldn't get the glove turned the right way. Burrows alive at no balls and a strike. Galvez waits on deck. The Barnstormers with a left-hander warming up in the bullpen. That would be Moscas. 0-1 pitch, sliced foul to the left, and a second strike on Burrows. Runners at first and third, nobody out. Lancaster and Bridgeport going back and forth here. The Barnstormers currently with a 7-3 lead. To Burrows, 0-2 pitch, line to the gap and right center field. That is in for a base hit. Making the turn and going to third as Abreu as Dotel has scored. And now Galvez will step in as the possible tying run. All of this when the Barnstormers arguably could have 3 outs in the inning, certainly 2. And they have 0. Jonathan Galvez will step in, 1 for 2. Clark, that was a tough play. I can't fault him on that one, but it might have been made. Now here is Galvez, who has 7 runs batted in the series. Abreu at third, Burrows at first. The pitch, swing and a miss. Ferguson is ahead at no balls and a strike. Boy, Bridgeport has fought back in this one. The Barnstormers lost the first 2 games. Bridgeport could have been satisfied after Lancaster went ahead 6-1. Lined off of Ferguson's foot. He's going to track it down, shovel to first, and get 1 out. But Abreu has scored. Galvez will drive in the run on the 1-3 out. Burrows on to second, 7-5, and you hope Ferguson's all right. A great comeback by the Bridgeport Bluefish to make this a 2-run game. Andrew Lambo has a home run and a single already tonight off of Ferguson. We talked about how toxic this ballpark has been for the Barnstormers. It has been for Ferguson. The last time he pitched here, he gave up 9 runs in 5 innings on 13 hits. Galvez had an inside the park home run and really the big game, 4 runs batted in. Abreu got to him for a double and a triple. So Lambo is the possible tying run with just 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bridgeport has again put some multiple run innings on the board here in game 2. And now we're going to get a mound visit. Ross Peoples is coming out, and he may want Moscas here. Ferguson took a shot on that last one, so Ross is going to ask for the baseball. Ferguson out after 5 1/3 innings. But when you look at it, the last 10 batters stepping to the plate for Bridgeport, 5 hits, a sac fly, 1 reaching on an error. And that ball lashed back to the hill. which Ferguson fortunately stopped. So the Barnstormers make the change. Moskos will come in. It's 7-5 Lancaster, and we're going to pause for these messages.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Oh, here is Daniel Moskos with one out. Sean Burroughs at second. Andrew Lambo coming to the plate. And hopefully you did not hear my comments. That was meant to be an aside. I didn't realize I had a live microphone. But something I do feel rather strongly about in terms of our situation. Andrew Lambo is homered and singled off Ferguson. 7 hits off of Brad, who was marvelous for the first 4 innings. 5 runs to this point, and Burroughs is his. No walks, 2 strikeouts. The error will come into play this inning as far as earned runs are concerned. Moskos will go to work on Lambo. Hard hit ground ball, speared by Clevenger. He will underhand to Moskos, covering 3-1 on the conversion. So 1 pitch and 1 out for Moskos. Burroughs ahead to third base with 2 gone, and Gustavo Molina coming in. Molina has twice grounded out. So that will mean 4 earned runs charged to Ferguson. Abreu's tally is not, and if Burroughs scores his run, would also be unearned. 7-5 Lancaster, bottom of the 6th inning. Lancaster at one point led 6-1 in this game, and Ferguson was sailing. First pitch high and outside, 1-0 on Molina. The leadoff base hit by Galvez in the 5th started a cascade of Bridgeport singles, which is what they do so well. Moskos comes back, and that ball is hit high in the air, third base side. May stay in play, overcomes Halton. It's just out of his reach. 1-1, the near outs this inning. That's the second one. The Barnstormers have not had a great inning in the field. Nothing Sean could do about that one. And Clark had a tough play, indeed. Catchable, but not easy. Not with the geography as it was. Moskos to Molina. Ball 2 is upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Burroughs at third with 2 men out. Sean Burroughs has driven in now his 13th run against the Barnstormers in the season series. 2-1 to Molina. Ground ball toward the hole. Gloved by Coronado. He'll spin. He'll bounce the throw to first, and it's there in time to get the slow Molina. Second time Coronado has robbed them in the game, and that keeps another run off the board. Nice play by Coronado, and Molina certainly not running well. So in the inning, it is 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 error, and Burroughs stranded at third. We're on our way to the 7th, and maybe some more adventures tonight. Lancaster leading 7-5. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Bridgeport goes back to its bullpen. Zach Groats will work his 50th ball game of the year. Frank DiGiulio Jr. out after an inning in the third. He allowed 3 hits and 1 run, struck out a batter. 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. Lancaster has stranded 7. For Bridgeport, 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, and 2 men left on base. More action in the Barnstormers bullpen. Lastings, Millage, Garrett Weber, and Nate Coronado stepping in to face the right-hander Groats here in the 7th. Millage has a single, a triple, and a sac fly. 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, 2 runs batted in here in the nightcap. Lancaster with the 2-run lead. This Bridgeport lineup is unreal. What they have done in this series, what they have done all season long. Now a first pitch strike to Millage. It is 0-1, and you just have that feeling the Barnstormers need to score more. Kahui Downing is warming up in the bullpen. Breaking ball gets there, and Groats is ahead of Millage at 0-2. Zach Groats 2-3 with 2 saves and a 3.81 earned run average. A guy who can chalk up a lot of strikeouts. Next offering, Millage with a bouncer to third. Charging the play is Nina. He'll fire across. Millage is retired. 1 out in the 7th. Garrett Weber stepping in, 2 for 2. 2 runs scored and an RBI. This part of the batting order got to the starter Para pretty well. First pitch is wide. Ball 1, no strikes. Garrett also scored on the back end of a double steal. Inside from Groats, 2-0. Coronado stole second, and as soon as Molina released the ball, Weber broke for the plate. That was how the Barnstormers got run number 6. 2-0 to Garrett. He gets ball 3 upstairs from Groats. 3 balls and no strikes. There's a strike. We go to 3-1. Coronado has had a heck of a night game. Fouled away. Make it 3-2. Another long game here in Bridgeport. Getaway night. Groats ready to go. Here's the payoff, and that is strike 3 called on the outside corner. Weber goes down looking. 9th Barnstormer to strike out in this game. Now Coronado will step in. Nate 2 for 2, along with a walk and a couple of very good plays against Gustavo Molina. The last one saved a run. 5 outs in a row for Bridgeport pitching. Here's the wind. Coronado takes a pitch below the knees from Groats, 1-0. He roared back and got 3 straight strikes past Garrett Weber. Now to Coronado, 1-0 pitch. Finds the outside corner. Ball 1, strike 1. Swing and a miss. It is 1-2, and you hope the Barnstormers haven't run out of steam here tonight. One-two offering. Fastball runs wide. Coronado batting 2-2. Tyler Clark is on deck. Swinging a ball ripped foul into the first base seats. Coronado sticks around at 2-2. Two outs, bases clear here. Coronado trying to get something started in the 7th. The pitch is high and outside. Groats goes to a full count. Coronado batting 3-2. Lancaster with 11 hits here in the nightcap. Now the Barnstormers simply have not been able to keep Bridgeport from scoring. Now the payoff, lined into right field. Coronado's got his 3rd hit. A 2-out single off Groats here in the 7th inning. Nate Coronado once again proving himself to be a pure hitter. He has 31 hits in 87 at-bats since joining the Barnstormers. He has driven in 14 runs. Batting average now at .369. He has 7 stolen bases. Coronado leads from first. Clark takes a strike. It's been a rough one for Tyler tonight. 3 straight swinging 3rd strikes each time with at least 1 runner in scoring position. Clark smash left side, diving stop Nina. He's got to make the long throw. It is there in time. Angeles Nina with a heck of a play. Put a star by that one in the scorebook. The 3rd baseman diving to his left and ending the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man stranded. Tyler Clark bidding for a base hit to the opposite field. No dice. Time for the 7th inning stretch with the Barnstormers still leading by 2.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Hey Barnstormers fan, be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
Daniel Moscas came on and got 2 big outs back in the 6th inning, keeping this a 7-5 ball game. And now Kaohi Downing takes over here in the bottom of the 7th to face Nina, Rosa, and Guillen. Downing, a 5'11 Hawaiian, appearing for the 42nd time. He is 2-0 with a 2.82 earned run average. The Barnstormers bullpen is the one element on this ball club that has remained largely intact since we started the season. And in retrospect, that's really caught everyone by surprise. I remember talking to Ross Peoples during spring training early in the season. We thought Anthony Carter and Cody Hall would both be gone by the end of May. Ultimately, Hall was signed by the end of June. But outside of Cody, they have all stuck around. Downing will start off the 7th inning. Angeles Nina has been a thorn in the side of the Barnstormers in this series. He just took a hit away, and Nina also has 4 runs batted in, and he is 4 out of 8. He has been a very tough out for the Barnstormers in these 3 games. Nina stepping in, Angel Rosa to follow. They each drove in a run back in the 2-run 5th inning. Barnstormers, to some extent, are fortunate that it's only 7-5. The final out in the 5th came on a line drive and a leaping catch by Weber. First pitch swinging is Nina. He fouls it straight back. 0-1 against Downing. And then ball Galvez hit easily could have gotten up the middle. It was stopped by Bergeson, and Brad getting that out, the final thing he did in the ball game tonight. No balls and 1 strike on Angeles Nina. Downing comes back and deals high and wide. 1-1. Downing trying to pick up 3 outs without allowing Bridgeport to score again and protect the lead with 2 innings to go. Swing and a foul tip. Nina will bat at 1-2. Somerset coming in tomorrow to start a 4-game series. Downing's 1-2 pitch. Nina started to go for it. He did not turn the bat around far enough. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed batting third baseman. Nina from San Cristobal in the Dominican Republic. Two and two. Downing ready to go. Here's the pitch. Nina checks, and it's ball 3. And you don't want to lead off walk here either. Three and two. Payoff is on the way from Downing, and that's cracked the center field. A leadoff base hit. Nina on board once again. That is the 37th hit for Bridgeport in this series. But again, if you take this back to Saturday night and the 12-11 Barnstormer win, .47 runs on 66 hits for the opposing ball clubs over a span of 5 games. The batter is Angel Rosa. He's the tying run at the plate. Rosa has fouled out and driven in a run with a sac fly. Downing will go to work, and the pitch here is strike 1 to the outside corner. Not easy to get hits off of Kaohi Downing, but Bridgeport seems to be able to hit anybody. Opposing teams batting only .184 off Downing for the year. There goes the runner. The pitch is low. The throw by Clark is high at second base. Nina's got the steal. It's his 7th. A ball and a strike to Rosa. Bridgeport's offense continuing to apply the pressure. They have led off 3 innings in a row with singles. And now the stolen base has Nina in scoring position. Angel Rosa batting at a ball and a strike. Nina guessed right on that pitch. Tough one for Clark to handle and throw, and Weber had to save the throw from center. 1-1 to Rosa. Swing and a miss. Downing ahead in the count. He'll want the strikeout here. And Osni Guillen waiting on deck. Lancaster's offense has grown somewhat silent, and they may need to score again tonight. Amaral, Robinson, and Bell will bat in the 8th inning. 1-2. Now on Rosa. Nina leads from second, and Downing comes with the pitch, but time had been called. For a second, I thought that Rosa had asked for the timeout, and it wasn't granted. But at the very last split second, Frank Urilli got out of the way also, so it's still a ball and 2 strikes. Nina leading off second base. Downing will go to work, and there's a chip shot. Back on it goes Weber, and he will make the catch. 1 out here in the 7th inning. Again, a great approach by the Bluefish Sticks, but Rosa comes up just short. With 1 out, here is Osni Guillen. He has popped the second, lined to second, and doubled deep to right center field. Thrown out at third on a perfect relay from Amaral to Weber to halt. One out. Nina remains at second base. The left-handed batting Guillen steps in against Kaohi Downing. Right-hander to the high set, and again, time is called. Bridgeport, 2 hits through the first 4 innings, 6 all singles in the last 2 1/3. Lancaster 7, Bridgeport 5. Downing to Guillen, who tries to bunt his way on and fouls it up the third baseline. A hard foul on the bunt attempt. No balls and a strike on Guillen. Jose Heel earlier today reached on a bad throw off his sacrifice bunt. They're trying to beat the Barnstormers every which way here. This league's best lineup. The Barnstormers are pretty good, especially when you get Lancaster at home. Guillen batting 0-1. The pitch inside and low. Coronado had snuck in behind Nina at second base. And the pitch came to the plate anyhow. And fortunately, it was a pitch that Guillen couldn't possibly slap through the left side. May have been some miscommunication there. 1 ball, 1 strike to Guillen. Nina bouncing around off second base. Downing stays in the set. He'll bring it home, chop the shortstop. Charging the play is Coronado. He'll throw on the run. That is out number 2. Guillen grounds out 6-3. Nina moving ahead to third on the play. And the all was difficult. Wellington Dotel to the plate. Dotel 1 for 3 in the ball game tonight. 6 out of 11 in the series. Downing needs an out here to protect the 2-run lead. Tony Abreu is on deck, and Sean Burrows after him. The Barnstormers simply don't know what to do with Burrows at this point. Two outs with Nina over at third base. The steal critical to the inning. Probably be 2 outs and a runner at first. Had that stolen base not happen. To Dotel, fastball is high. Ball 1 and no strikes. Over the years, the Barnstormers have no idea how to get Wellington Dotel out on a consistent basis. The same is true with Burrows. And this year you can add the likes of Abreu and Galvez into the mix. They have trouble with Hernandez historically too. 1-0. Dotel grounds that fair down the first baseline. That was such a beautiful piece of hitting. It defies the imagination. It'll be a ground rule double for Dotel at 7-6, and the tying run is in scoring position. Dotel just flicked the bat out and drove the ball past Clevenger and down the line. Outstanding piece of hitting. Remarkable piece of hitting. And now it's 7-6, and a base hit can tie the score. Downing giving up 2 hits and a run. I cannot tell you what a great piece of hitting that was by Dotel. He just flicked the bat out against what seemed to be a tough pitch and knocked it down the first base line on the ground, clearly fair, and past Clevenger. Oh, here is Scott Patterson out to visit Downing. They're going to have to get Abreu with Burrows, the guy on deck. The tying run is in scoring position. What a rally for Bridgeport. The Barnstormers at one point led this game 6-1, then 7-3. Bridgeport will not stay quiet. The Bluefish with 5 runs on 7 hits over the last 2 2/3 innings. Only Moscas has been effective during that time. The batter is Abreu, who reached on an error back in the 6th. He's 0 for 3 in the game. Dotel can fly, so another base hit is going to tie this score here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Downing can't strike out a batter? Oh, my. Because he usually racks them up like nothing. Abreu digs in, and the pitch from Downing is a strike on the inside corner. It's a good way to start, 0-1. Bridgeport on the verge of tying it up here in the 7th inning. What a remarkable piece of hitting by Dotel. How did he only play at the single-A level in a major league organization? 0-1, Abreu has to spin out of the way. A ball and a strike. Burrows is on deck. This is the most disciplined lineup I have watched in this league. There have been maybe more dangerous lineups in the past for sometimes Long Island or Newark especially. But as far as just being tough outs, wow. 1-1, Abreu gets jammed and grounds it foul over toward his own dugout. Downing has him at a ball and 2 strikes. Lancaster 7, Bridgeport 6 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Bridgeport could have thrown in the towel and been satisfied with 2 out of 3. One ball, 2 strikes on Abreu. Here's the motion. The offering popped up, third base side. Halton is there. He'll make the catch. And Downing gets us through the 7th inning, still with a lead, but part of it again whittled away. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and Dotel parked at second base. We're on our way to the 8th and the top of the order for the Barnstormers with the score Lancaster 7 and Bridgeport 6.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
The Federal Tap House is a great place to stop by after a Barnstormers game and continue your enjoyable evening in downtown Lancaster. Featuring 100 beers on tap, including many craft beers from here in Central PA, the Federal Tap House That's something for everyone's palate, not to mention a full bar and elegant wine selection for the non-beer geeks in the group. For the entire lineup of brews, check online at federaltaphouse.com. That's at Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street, just blocks from Clipper Magazine Stadium, or at their other location in Harrisburg.
The Barnstormers still lead by 1 as we go to the 8th inning. And Elvin Ramirez checks into the game. He lives in Fort Pierce, Florida. Ramirez, 29 years of age, 6'3", and 208 pounds. Since David Carpenter left, it's bullpen by committee for manager Luis Rodriguez. Ramirez has racked up a pair of saves. He is 3-2 with a 2.84 ERA. He's given up 23 hits, but only 4 walks in 19 innings, and he has 21 strikeouts. Top of the order, we'll get to see him here in the 8th inning. Amaral, Robinson, and Bell. And they'll all bat from the left side of the plate. Ramirez finishes his warm-up throws, and the throw goes on through. We mentioned all the major league experience that Luis Rodriguez has been able to bring in here to Bridgeport. Here is Amaral, 2 for 3, and a run scored here tonight. Ramirez got to the major leagues with the Mets for 20 appearances back in 2012. He was most recently in the Mexican League. Native of the Dominican Republic from San Cristobal, but as I mentioned, living now in Florida. Lancaster 7, Bridgeport 6. Amaral with a swing and a foul ball back for a strike. It is 0-1. Nina at the edge of the grass over at third. 0-1. Amaral takes a fastball away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bo. The Barnstormers scored a run on the first 2 batters of the 6th inning to stretch the lead out to 7-3. That's 6 of the last 7 Lancaster batters have been retired. Coronado, who was 3 for 3 here in game 2, the exception. A ball and a strike to Amaral. Chopper to first. That'll stay fair. Easy play for Galvez. 1 out in the 8th inning. Bringing on Trayvon Robinson, who's 1 for 4 with an RBI.
The right fielder, Trayvon Robinson.
Robinson digging in here. It'll be Burrows, Galvez, and Lambo against Scott Schumann in the bottom of the 8th inning. Swing and a miss by Trayvon. Down a strike. It is 0-1. The Barnstormers somehow need to pick up 6 more outs and salvage this series. Here's the windup. Fastball is upstairs. Robinson batting at a ball and a strike. One out, nobody on. Top inning 8. Ramirez into his motion. Robinson dribbles a foul. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ramirez to the plate. Robinson with a swing and a miss. 2 outs. Josh Bell will come to the plate. He is 0 for 3 with a walk. The right-handers out of the Bridgeport bullpen getting the job done here in the late innings. And the Barnstormers may match it. 2 outs. Ramirez into his motion, goes to work on Bell. Josh takes ball 1 inside, 1-0. The only team that's given Anthony Carter any trouble this year really has been Bridgeport. And Lancaster looking for Schumann to get the game to Anthony for the 9th inning. 1 ball, no strikes on Bell. Ramirez delivers high, 2-0. Sean Halton waiting on deck. Ramirez going to work on Bell. The 2-0 pitch hit high in the air out to left field. Fading back on this is Lambo, but Bell didn't get enough of it to take advantage of the wind. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ramirez. We're going to the bottom of the 8th, and the Barnstormers trying to hang on. 7-6 Lancaster.
Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg is your hometown appliance store with hometown values. We always give back to our community, and this year we are proud to be a sponsor of the East Petersburg Amphitheater Project. Stop in and purchase from us and keep your money here, helping others in your community. We are back again this season with a $25,000 giveaway at the stadium, and you can stop in and register for a Barnstormers game jersey. We want to be your appliance store and give back to all of you. Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg.
Scott Schumann, who opened last season right here in Bridgeport, takes over for the bottom of the 8th. A one-time 5-run Lancaster lead has been shaved to 1. Burrows, Galvez, and Lambo will be facing Scott in this 8th inning. Schumann did not have a good appearance on Sunday against Sugar Land, but again, he came into a ball game where the Barnstormers were trailing. He's been very good in these 8th inning hold situations. Howie Downing gave up 2 hits and a run in the 7th. Wellington Dotel with one of the best pieces of hitting I've watched in that inning. He is such a hard out. And the Barnstormers hope not to have to face Dotel again tonight because they get 6 up and 6 down the next 2 innings. 7-6 Lancaster. And here is Burrows, who is 1 for 3. He singled in a run back in the 6th inning. Defense straight away against Burrows. How else do you play him? just don't know where he's going to hit the ball any given at bat, but he'll hit it somewhere. First pitch all the way to the backstop, and it rolls all the way back out to Schumann. I don't know that I've ever seen that. High fastball, hit the backstop, and went right back to Shu, rolling into his glove. And he didn't have to move. Burroughs batting 1-0. Scoreboard apparently felt that was worth 2 balls. Schumann comes back. Burroughs looks at a strike. Schumann brings it home, fouled away. Scott gains the edge. Two balls, 2 strikes on Burroughs. Such a tough out. Schumann's pitch. He got him, a swing and a miss. He got Burroughs to climb the ladder, and that is 1 out here in the 8th inning. Jonathan Galvez to the plate. Galvez 1 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in.
The first baseman, number 20, Jonathan Galvez.
Lambo, the left-handed batter, waiting on deck. 2 guys with significant power. They have each homered today at some point. A ball is high on Galvez, 1-0. Schumann fires. This one's low, and Galvez batting 2-0. Galvez gets ball 3 upstairs. Barnstormers have, to this point, been walk-free after giving up 11 the first 2 games of the series. It's Schumann on the brink now, 3-0 on Galvez. Schumann to the plate, and that's ball 4. Tying run, heads to first. Andrew Lambo will step in. Lambo with a home run and a single. He grounded out against the lefty Moscas back in the 6th inning. The Barnstormers are in a tight spot again here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The tying run down to first base. The last 3 1/3 innings now have brought 7 hits, a walk, an error, and a sacrifice fly. As Bridgeport has scored 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. The tying run is on. Galvez has 8 steals, so he may try to get the scoring position here. The pitch cut on and missed. Schumann getting a fastball by Lambo. 0-1. Scott has been very effective against left-handed batters. He's had more success overall against lefties. They are 156 against him. Right-handed batters 257. 0-1, the count to Lambo. Galvez aboard at first base, held by Clevenger. Inching his way out to a lead. Not a huge one, at least not yet. Schumann's going to throw over, and he throws the ball away. That will give Galvez second base on the E1. There goes the double play chance, and now the tying run is in scoring position. A wild pickoff throw, and a base hit can now tie the score. They've got 2 chances to do it. Lambo up there, no balls and a strike. Molina in the on-deck circle. Oh, and 1 to Lambo. Schumann brings it home. This is popped up foul out of play. 0-2. I've said the Barnstormers have had a decent series, not a great series, but a decent series at the plate here. 13 runs and 26 hits over 24 innings. That's not too bad, but it's about average. Here's the 0-2 to Lambo. Swung on and missed. The Schumann gets that big second out. Molina will get his own plate appearance. You won't see Hernandez, the only guy I could have fathomed stepping in here. Molina is 0 for 3. He has been robbed twice by the shortstop Coronado. Schumann has struck out 2, but the tying run still looms in scoring position on a walk and a bad pickoff throw. Total of 5 errors in the game. Schumann will go to work on Molina. The pitch, breaking ball for strike 1. I'm not sure if Molina held on the swing or not, but it's a moot point. Galvez poised and ready to score, leading off second base. Target set to Molina, 0-1. He couldn't hold on the swing there. This one down and away. So Schumann has Gustavo Molina, no balls and 2 strikes. Trying to put him away and get us to the 9th inning. 0-2. Schumann will bring it home inside, and that hit the bat handle. Still 2 strikes. And we're going to have a discussion. Luis Rodriguez coming down, the training staff coming out. Molina walking around. The initial call seems to be a foul ball. Molina still being checked here. No balls, 2 strikes. Still up on the board. They haven't asked for any help, so the foul ball you would think would stand, but nearly a huge mistake by Schumann. Molina back and ready to go. No balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez is going to check in with Frank Urilli, the plate umpire, trying to get Molina to first base. Looks like he's giving up on the argument. Molina will come back at 0-2. Halton, Clevenger, and Millage scheduled in the Barnstormers' 9th inning. Hopefully, Scott Schumann will get his ball club there with a 1-run lead. Jonathan Galvez, the runner at second base with 2 outs. Molina back in at no balls and 2 strikes. Will Schumann go down and away with his breaking ball again here? Ready to go. 0-2, fastball high and somehow stabbed by Clark. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. It's 2 pitches in a row that have really gotten away from Schumann. A little too amped up in the situation. 2 strikeouts, a walk, and a bad pickoff throw in the inning. Molina batting 1-2, trying to tie the game up here in the 8th inning. Schumann is ready. The pitch is a fastball and strike 3 on the outside corner. Schumann ends up striking out the side around the walk. No runs, no hits. There was the bad pickoff throw for an error. 1 man left on base. We're going to the 9th. Lancaster 7 and Bridgeport 6.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with the Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 306 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350, IS all-wheel drive, and IS Turbo. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz, we have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
The Barnstormers would love some insurance. They'll face Vinny Pistano here in the 9th inning. Pistano pitched last night and threw a scoreless 8th against 2 of the same 3 batters they'll be facing here. Sean Halton and Steve Clevenger were retired by him, and they'll face Millage tonight. It was Weber in the 6th slot a night ago. Sean Halton is 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored here in Game 2. Lancaster with a 7-6 lead. Nina Rosa and Guillen will be facing Anthony Carter. When we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, you could see Luis Hernandez, of course, as a pinch hitter. I would imagine for Rosa. Would help the Barnstormers if they can get the attack going again here in the 9th inning. But 9 of their last 10 batters have been retired by the Bridgeport pen. First pitch to Halton is inside. Ball 1 and no strikes. Only Nate Coronado, who has reached base since the RBI single by Trayvon Robinson. Still with nobody out, back in the 6th inning. Carter, as you might imagine, is already getting tuned up down in the Lancaster bullpen. And again, De La Rosa catching him, but John Anderson throwing the ball back. 1-0 on Halton. The delivery is driven to right field and hit pretty well, but it hangs out there, and Guillen is there to make the catch. 1 gone, Clevenger to step in. He is 0 for 4. And Millage. I think you'll see Nina Hernandez and Guillen in the bottom of the 9th inning. That'll be my guess. And Anthony Carter will have his hands full to try and extend his streak. Clevenger has grounded out every at-bat this game. Pitch is low. Ball 1 from Pistano. Against Pistano last night, Steve hit a smash back off of him and ended up out 1-6-3. Fastball straight through. It is 1-1. Inside, by everything. Pistano working to Clevenger with a count of 2-1. Lastings Millage has had a pretty good game. He is on deck. Barnstormers haven't been able to extend any innings here as of late. to give Nate Coronado a chance for a fourth hit. To Clevenger, upstairs, and ball 3. Manny Parra walked 4 tonight. Lancaster has not drawn a free pass against the bullpen. 3-1 to Clevenger. Drive out the left field. Charging in is Lambo. He slides, and he's going to be able to make that catch. Didn't get the jump right away, but made up for it. 2 men are down. Lastings Millage will come to the plate for the Barnstormers. The final hope for an insurance run. Barnstormers have gone through this entire series without a home run. They have 4 doubles and 4 triples here in Bridgeport. 2 home runs for the Bluefish. 1 in each end of the doubleheader today. 2 outs and a Millage. Lastings takes a strike. It is 0-1 as Carter continues to heat up in the Barnstormers bullpen to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Bridgeport Bluefish. Millage looks at a fastball up and away, a ball and a strike. Lancaster had a 6-1 lead and a 7-3 lead. But that advantage has been trimmed back to just 1. 1-1. Millage chases a breaking ball. A ball and 2 strikes. So York has won tonight. New Britain has won. Long Island has won. Bridgeport battling for first place. Breaking ball is outside and low, and we go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bridgeport right now tied with Long Island with the outcome of this game pending. And the Barnstormers lead York by a half with the outcome of this game pending. 2-2 outside to Lastings Millage. A full count. Garrett Weber's on deck. Millage bats 3-2. Pistano ready to go. Payoff pitch, line drive, and foul down the right field side. Might have also broken Lastings' bat. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count continues. And the bat does not. It did crack. So Millage will hand it over and get a new one. Passed along to him by the on-deck hitter, Weber. Three balls, 2 strikes again to Millage. Pistano ready to go, and he serves up ball 4. Garrett Weber will bat with 2 outs and a runner on. 2 runs scored and an RBI for Garrett here in game 2. 7-6. Lancaster still needs to survive the bottom half of the 9th inning. It wouldn't be a bad time for Weber to hit his first home run since July 2nd. He has gone nearly 100 at-bats since that dramatic game winner against Somerset. Ball 1 is outside from Pistano, 1-0. Coronado is on deck. You'd love to get him to the plate this inning. Weber takes a strike. It just nicked the outside corner on the way through. And now from Pistano, it is 1-1. To the plate, Weber takes a second strike from the 3/4 slinger. 1 ball, 2 strikes. New Britain a 7-3 winner. Long Island beats Southern Maryland 4-1. York has defeated Somerset 5-2. 7-6 here. To Weber, a ball and 2 strikes. And strike 3 is called again on the outside corner. And Weber going down looking for the second straight at bat, and he didn't like any of those 3 called strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors. The Barnstormers leave 1. We are going to head to the bottom half of the 9th inning with the score Lancaster 7 and Bridgeport 6.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
So here is Anthony Carter on to try and save a 1-run lead against this pesky Bridgeport lineup as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Anilis Nina is scheduled to lead off. Nina, like most of this lineup, has been an incredibly difficult out in this series. He is 5 for 9. He has a couple of stolen bases. He has drawn a couple of bases on balls. He has knocked in 4 runs. He gets the lead off against Anthony Carter. 24 saves for Carter, a 3-2 record, and a 3.48 ERA. Here's the motion. First pitch of the inning is low. Ball 1 to Nina. Scott Schumann walked 1, struck out 3 in the 8th. Carter delivers 1-0. Fastball good for a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. You have to keep Bridgeport, I think, from getting a base runner here in the 9th inning. Nina batting at a ball and a strike. Carter to the plate. That's chopped. Third base side, and it gets through to Coronado. There will be no play. The big Baltimore chop. It's a weapon here in Bridgeport, and Nina is on as the tying run. Carter made a great pitch. Nina beat down on the ball. It hopped up. Carter charged, or Halton charged, couldn't get to the long hop, and wasn't able to dig up the short one. Angel Rosa will come to the plate with the tying run on. He'll be looking to bunt. And then you get the Guillen and, unfortunately, Dotel. Tying run on base. That is the 10th hit for Bridgeport. And the kind of base hit this field gives up consistently. The pitch, wrap the third, up with it, Halton. He goes to second, 1, back to first. That won't be quite in time. Rosa safe on the fielder's choice. That looked like a double play off the bat, but it took a split second for Halton to get it out of his glove. Weber unable to fire on and double up Rosa. 1 out here in the 9th inning. Here is Osni Guillen, who is 1 for 4. Barnstormers have today been a little bit shaky, turning over double plays. It cost them at times in game 1. to Guillen. High bouncer toward the shortstop. With it is Coronado. He'll get the out at second, and that'll be all. Guillen safe on the fielder's choice. 6 unassisted on Rosa. Coronado having to deal with a high bounce. Wellington Dotel will bat with Osni Guillen at first and 2 outs. Dotel, the winning run at the plate, and a guy that gives the Barnstormers nightmares. He is 7 for 12 in this series. His RBI double off, Downing in the 7th inning is what brought Bridgeport to within a run. Carter's gotten 3 ground balls, 2 outs, runner at first base, and to Dotel, swinging a foul back into the screen. Carter is ahead in the count, 0-1. Dotel has 2 doubles, now 3, and 1 home run since coming back to Bridgeport out of the Mexican League. Carter fires high and inside. It is a ball and a strike. He doesn't want Dotel leaning out over the plate and getting a ball down the right field line again. Guillen is 4 for 9 stealing bases, but you can't discount that either right now. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dotel. Guillen takes off. The pitch is swung on and fouled away. Carter now has Bridgeport down to a final strike, but this is Dotel. Hold your breath. And Abreu on deck. Carter working to Dotel with a count of 1-2. Anthony Carter trying to get Lancaster out of Bridgeport with 1 win and a 1-game lead over York. Carter to the set to Dotel, high. 2-ball, 2-strike count, and the pressure will build all over again. The huge hops on this Bridgeport infield, the only thing right now that has kept Bridgeport alive against Carter. 2-2 on Dotel. Here's the pitch, fouled away. Carter's not caving in. Dotel is not caving in. The game's still alive. Lancaster had a lead as large as 5 runs at one point. Bridgeport began to get to Brad Bergeson. They chipped away and added a run against Downing. 2-2. To Dotel. Carter to the set. Here's the pitch, and it's knocked out to right field and down for a base hit. Dotel comes through, and Abreu will step in. Guillen up the second. How do you get Wellington Dotel out? Well, apparently the rest of the league knows, because coming into this series, he was batting only .226. That is his 8th hit against the Barnstormers. The tying run now at second. The winning run is at first. And Ross Peoples has 1 timeout left, and he's going to use it. Guillen at second, Dotel the runner at first. Abreu steps in. He is 0 for 4 and has scored a run tonight. 4 hits for him in this series. The Barnstormers are going to discuss it all. Wellington Dotel is just remarkable. He took that 2-2 pitch, driving it into right field. 8 for 13 in the series for Dotel. Bridgeport overall now has racked up 40 hits in these 3 games. Abreu digs in against Anthony Carter, who's given up 2 hits in this 9th inning. And to Abreu, swing and a miss. He just challenged him, strike 1. The leadoff Baltimore chop base hit by Nina, and the inability to get 2 outs on the Rosa smash. has this game in jeopardy. Down and in, Abreu bats at a ball and a strike, and Burrows is on deck. So you've got to get the last out here. One ball, one strike, the count on Abreu. Carter will bring it home, swing and a miss. And again, Bridgeport is down to a last strike. Carter had Dotel at 1-2, and he's got Abreu at a ball and 2 strikes. Carter will back off as Abreu backs out. A base hit likely to tie the score here. An extra base hit likely to win it. 1-2, and it's a high fly ball to right field toward the line. Trayvon Robinson, he's got it, and the Barnstormers hang on by 1. Wow, the heart is pounding. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 left in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Lancaster gets blown out twice here in Bridgeport, but the back end of the bullpen is able to secure game 3. We'll have the wrap-up show coming your way next. Our final score, the Lancaster Barnstormers 7 and the Bridgeport Bluefish 6.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Not only does the Federal Tap House have the largest selection of craft draft beers in Lancaster City, they have amazing food to go along with those elite beers. Open every day for both lunch and dinner, their menu has something for everyone, including a special lunch menu available every Monday through Friday, as well as their normal menu. So when you're in the mood for great wood-fried pizzas, handcraft coal-fired burgers, or our all-inspiring duck fat fries, head over to the Federal Tap House. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster, open by 11:30 every day of the week.
The Lancaster Barnstormers will return home from Connecticut with a division lead intact, but it has been knocked back to 1 game, with the Barnstormers splitting the doubleheader here and dropping 2 of 3 overall in Bridgeport, and York taking 2 of 3 against the Somerset Patriots. Here in the nightcap, Lancaster 7 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors, 9 left. Bridgeport 6 runs on 11 hits with 3 errors and 6 runners left on base. Brad Bergeson gets the win. He is now 9-6. He was marvelous for the first 4 innings. And then the Bluefish started to get to him, and he allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, and 5 1/3. But good enough for the win. He is 9-6. Manny Parra taking the loss. The former Brewers left-hander reached for 8 hits and 6 runs in 4 2/3 innings. He is 1-1. The save goes to Anthony Carter. It's his 25th of the year, his 24th in succession. Carter surviving a couple of base hits in the 9th inning tonight, getting Tony Abreu to fly out to right field to end it. That is the 17th consecutive scoreless appearance for Carter. 12 of those have resulted in saves. 2 of those have resulted in wins. The home run, Andrew Lambo with 2 outs in the 2nd inning, his 5th of the season, an opposite field shot for the left-handed batter. 3 hours, 16 minutes, the time of the game, 21:30 in attendance here tonight. The Barnstormers able to gain the split of the doubleheader. In the 2nd inning, Nate Coronado singled in 1 run, and then Garrett Weber would score on a wild pitch. The Barnstormers give up the home run to Lambeau in the bottom of the second inning, but they stretch the lead with 2 more runs in the third as Sean Halton doubled into the left field corner with 1 out and came home on a Lastings Millage triple into right center. Garrett Weber with an infield base hit got Millage home, and it was 4-1. Lancaster would score twice more in the 5th inning. It was Sean Halton with the triple this time. It came leading off on a ball that skipped past Dotel in center. He held on a chopper on the right side by Steve Clevenger, but Millage got him home with the sac fly. That made it 5-1. The Barnstormers reloaded as Garrett Weber singled into center. Nate Coronado with a sharp wrap off the glove of the shortstop Rosa. The ball slowed down in left field, giving Weber third. Coronado with the second of his 3 base hits. He broke for second and drew the throw for Molina, at which time Weber broke for the plate. He scored as Molina's throw actually ended up in center field, but a double steal awarded. The Barnstormers were up 6-1. However, Bridgeport, which had only had 2 base runners, and one of those, the home run, and the other one erased, as Osney Guillen was cut down trying to stretch a double into a triple. But in the 5th inning, Jonathan Galvez singled leading off. Andrew Lambeau followed with a base hit. Gustavo Molina grounded out on the right side to advance the runners. Angeles Nina, what a brilliant series he had. Got 1 run home with a base hit to right, and then Angel Rosa with a sac fly to right made it 6-3. Lancaster scored again in the 6th inning as Bo Amaral knocked the Barnstormers' 3rd triple of the game, tying a franchise record. It was a drive to left center field. He scored on a single by Trayvon Robinson. The Barnstormers were done for the night. They only got the 3rd hit from Coronado and a walk to Millage the rest of the way, and Bridgeport roared back. In the bottom of the 6th, the Bluefish scored 2 more off of Bergeson. Dotel with the first of his 3 hits led off with a single into right. Then Tony Abreu had a high bouncer toward second. Garrett Weber charged the play, hoping to get a double play started, but he overran the ball. An error charge. Runners ended up at first and third. Sean Burrows singled in 1, and then Jonathan Galvez got a 2nd run home on a smash off the leg of Bergeson. Bergeson was going to come out of the game anyway. Daniel Mosca shut down that inning, so it was 7-5 coming out of the 6th. Dotel with a great swing, doubled down the first base line with 2 outs in the 7th, scoring Angeles Nina to make it 7-6. Scott Schumann walked the batter in the 8th inning and made a bad pickoff throw, sending Galvez to second, but he took care of it by striking out both Lambeau and Molina to end that inning. Carter giving up the 2 base hits, including another one to right field for Dotel in the 9th inning. And that was that. Abreu flying out to end the ball game. The Barnstormers win it by the final score of 7-6. Out of town scoreboard coming your way next, right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Well, the Barnstormers take one of the 3 here in Bridgeport. York has climbed to within a game with a 5-2 victory this evening over the Somerset Patriots. Long Island takes over first place in the second half as the Ducks continue to have their way with Southern Maryland. It started off closing out the first half, as you know, and it's continued into the second half. Long Island winning tonight by a score of 4-1. The Ducks have won 6 in a row. They're in first place now at 17-15 in the Liberty division. That is not good news for the Lancaster Barnstormers necessarily, and maybe not for the Bridgeport Bluefish. Bridgeport would much rather have Somerset win the second half than Long Island, but right now the Ducks are on top in the Liberty division. The other game was a 7-3 win for New Britain over Sugar Land. So the Skeeters are 6 behind the Barnstormers. Southern Maryland 7.5 out. Not looking really good for either one of those ball clubs in the second half, but York is a factor. The Revs are 1 game back in the divisional race. They're 20-13. The Barnstormers 21-12. The top 2 teams in the Atlantic League in the second half. And again, that concern because of the split season setup, I wouldn't have any concerns about the Barnstormers making the playoffs if it were simply the best 4 go or the best 2 records in the division go. But Lancaster conceivably, if they don't win Monday night, could get caught in that crossfire between the 2 halves. The Barnstormers continue to own the best record overall in the Atlantic League this year at 59 wins and 43 losses. Bridgeport and Somerset are both a game and a half back in that category. 7-6 Barnstormers here tonight. Let's take a quick peek at the Major League scoreboard. A lot of finals have poured in. Nationals over the Marlins tonight, 10-1. The Yankees lead Toronto 11-5. They actually have a little ways to go. They're in the bottom of the 9th. Boston slams Tampa Bay behind Rick Porcello, starting to turn it around 8-2. Cincinnati with an 8-3 victory tonight at home against San Diego. The Pirates behind Justin Verlander, shutting out Pittsburgh. A big win, 10-0. Phillies slip past the Braves 3-2. In progress still, the Chicago White Sox with a 7-0 lead on the Houston Astros in the top of the 8th. Minnesota's up 4-0 over the Milwaukee Brewers. They go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It is final earlier today. The Rockies in 12 top the Indians 3-2. The Rangers shut down the Mets 5-1. Seattle over Oakland. Final score in the Coliseum 6-3. The Angels with a 5-1 win over the Orioles. Giants beat the Cubs 3-1, and tonight through 6, the Cardinals lead the Royals 8-5. The Dodgers are underway and leading the Arizona Diamondbacks in the desert 1-0 through 3 1/2 innings. A thrilling win for the Barnstormers here tonight. Scarier than we would have liked, as the Barnstormers let most of a 6-1 lead evaporate. But the back end of the bullpen, which has been sensational, working with the lead, gets it done. Scott Schumann and Anthony Carter finally able to shut down the Bridgeport Bluefish in this series. The Barnstormers take the nightcap here by a final score of 7-6. That'll do it from here. And again, the Bridgeport Bluefish closing up shop here in Bridgeport. The franchise will be moved to a location we do not know as of yet. There are a lot of options for the 2018 season. Atlantic City and Camden seem the most viable to me, but a couple of other possibilities exist as well. So farewell to the ballpark at Harbor Yard, at least for now, as we ran through on the dugout report before this second game. A lot of very fond memories of the ballpark at Harbor Yard. They have had some really top-notch executives in here, but for whatever reason, they haven't been able the last several years to really make a go of it in here. And the field has gotten bad. You'd have to put a lot of money into this playing surface. The guy out there working really hard right now, the groundskeeper, Dave Chortis, is fine a guy as you'll meet in the Atlantic League, as hardworking a guy as you'll meet in the Atlantic League, but you can do just so much with so little. This field would absolutely have to be resurfaced if professional baseball were to continue in here. And the story is that it is not, that this will be turned into an outdoor concert venue on the Bridgeport Harbor. So that's the story on the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Lancaster could make a trip here in the postseason. That is still open as a possibility. Barnstormers win this one tonight, 7-6, and they end up, after losing their last 5 games in this ballpark, winning the final game they'll play here in 2017. Somerset coming in tomorrow. The Barnstormers will have the 3 straight left-handers. Tommy Shirley will make the start against the Patriots tomorrow night, 6:30 at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Blue Ridge will still be off covering USA Field Hockey, so it'll be James Murray and myself here on Go Barnstormers Baseball, the Barnstormers YouTube channel, beginning with the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report at 6:15. Until then, for all the cast and crew at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the ballpark.